Welcome to 1407 Gray Malkin Lane. This is the living memory of the X-Men. Don't let anyone tell you different. Okay, this is a very, very special review, classic review with I brought it over my cohort, my man. I will never get this right.
There you go. Boom, boom.
Oh, all right. J Man, like how you doing, man? How's everything?
I'm doing good. I wore my. I have several X-Men shirts. I'm like, which one should I wear? I had Cyclops was right, but I'm like, you know what? That's not where we're
It doesn't
playing in
apply
right
yet.
now.
It doesn't apply yet.
Yeah, I mean, he was right anyways, but
Right.
we're not. That's not where we are. And I thought, let me get the closest to where we're at, sort of, with because this is not too far. Or how far is it? Because giant size is what? What's the next one? 96 or 97? Like
Yeah, about there. Yeah.
it's about, yeah. So because this is where we got the new roster, right? So I thought, well, this shirt is the closest to what we're talking about.
Right.
So I was like, let me get out the Phoenix here. And I actually have the first Dark Phoenix and the first Emma, the first Kitty, the first Dazzler, first. I have the. Do I have the first Polaris? I think I might have the first Polaris also. I definitely have her first cover appearance, the Steranko, the green one where she's like that or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, and oh, they're over here. I'll grab them. I'll grab them in a bit to show you later. But like this comic, like we'll get into it. But it was a big game changer for everybody, I think.
Absolutely. A revolution. It's like it's the 70s version of House of X.
Yep.
Changed everything.
Everything.
But really, not really. It just added on. Like the X-Men were like a rickety house. What they were doing, they were renovating. They're making it bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great.
So I let me I want to make sure that I'm on here on your YouTube as well to make sure we can see what's going on here. For some reason, it's not showing me that you're live. Oh no, here he goes. Now it's showing me that you're live. That was weird. That was so weird. Okay, no, yeah, you're good.
Oh, cool.
That was just odd. But okay, yeah. So no, I'm glad to be here. This is pumped. I think you should do these more often. I really like going through the issues, and even if you start with the next one, like 96 or 97, whatever it is,
yeah.
And you just go and you do a few at a time. You do like 2 or 3 per stream.
You're talking about the issue numbers. You weren't talking about the years. Oh,
sorry, not the years. I'm talking about issue numbers. I don't know what.
It was 94.
Oh, yeah. 94. I'm sorry, 94.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, 94. That's what I meant. Yeah. And then that's so basically X-Men to me is this and going forward. I'm not knocking anything that Stan and Jack obviously are awesome. No, I'm not knocking anything. But and Cyclops is my favorite Marvel character.
Cyclops was right.
And Cyclops was right. And I like Jean as well. But I like those original X-Men. But this comic, like, I mean, really changed everything. And I think it was like it was the perfect time. And I hate getting into this, it's diversity and all this, but it came at a perfect time where it's like, yeah, this makes sense for the X-Men because there's mutants around the world. Why not find different mutants from different countries, bring them together? And this was born out of like a natural course of evolution. It wasn't brought in by really any agendas. It was just like
at one time they were called the International Team of X-Men.
Yeah,
that was that, like, second generation. Yeah, that's what they originally. But like this was an international group of X-Men. Like it was a motley crew. Like seriously, it kind of reminds me of like the Magnificent Seven a little bit. Like seven different warriors working under the same goal on a rescue mission. It's crazy. I love it.
I like the assembling of the team too. Like it's like, let's get someone. It's a little bit explained at the end, which we'll get into. But yeah, like I don't know, it just all came together. I love the original 5 X-Men for sure, 100%.
Absolutely, they're the best.
But when this came, like and we're gonna go through the pages, and we've got scans from the original scans. Not the remastered one is fine. Like I bought that facsimile version or whatever because you don't actually have this comic, right? The real comic.
I have the reprinting.
Yeah, so I've got so
Yeah.
so yeah, I've got the facsimile version which just came out like last year or the year before or whatever the anniversary was or whatever. So like, and they recolor that and all of that. But
yeah, of course.
I believe this is the original scans that we're going to be looking at, and it looks pretty damn awesome. From the original scans, like it aged well. Like you know, some of the old comics, I've been going back to Golden Age on my channel, and you're looking at it like, okay, yeah, I mean these are cute and everything, but you can see that it was simple.
You can see the tweaks and stuff. You can see the
right.
Not, or if you get to, or you know, if you get to the older books, you get to see the aging, and I think that's the best part. You get to see like, I don't know what it is. It's not as crisp as it used to be, and that's
right.
I'm kind of messes with it, and I think that's great. That's amazing. Like,
yeah.
But so like this was done by Dave Cockrum.
Yeah, awesome.
So Claremont wasn't even on the book yet.
No, I don't know when he comes in. Do you know? I wish. What number does he come into?
He comes in kind of early.
Yeah, he should be coming in soon, right?
Yeah, he was like, I know he was scripting. He was scripting how all these work, and then he became head writer. Like not too long after this, because like when Lin Wen didn't want to do it, I guess.
Right.
I guess he just wanted to draw.
So let me see here. X-Men. Okay, so X-Men career collaborator, comics. 969. Trying to see when he actually came in on it. So Dave Cockrum, yeah, blah blah blah. Okay, so Claremont. So it's definitely before 96 because that's when Moira McTaggart comes in. So I'm going to say it might even be right after. It might be right after this.
Okay.
And I've got let me get my iPad because I actually have all the X-Men comics on digital. I bought them all through Comixology.
Okay. All right. I'm looking on Wikipedia. It says Lin Wen, who recognized Claremont's enthusiasm for the new X-Men that Wen and Cockrum had created in 1975, hired Claremont, a relatively young writer, to take over the series as of issue 94 of May 1975. Okay,
so he basically what's his name? Hold on. So 94 is the next one after this, right? That's what we were talking about just now. So shit, that's right away.
This is like a one-time thing for them, I guess.
Yeah. So, Len. I always say Len Wein. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Len. Is it Wein? Wein. You know who's going to know is Bill when he joins us.
Of course, Bill knows everything.
So he is the professor. Yeah. So yeah, Len and Dave, and then does Dave stay on for 94? I actually have all of those issues. So hold on, let me see.
I think he does. Like I'll check.
Because John Byrne comes in. When does John Byrne come in?
They kind of alternate with all that. That's crazy with him.
Yeah, let me see what the my iPad shows here.
Okay, X-Men. He did Uncanny X-Men 94 to 107. Then he came back from. Wow, he just kind of jumped back and forth. Like he would only do like 4 or 5 issues, then stop.
I see. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. So I've got volume 1, and basically, 94, 95. 95 is the death of John Proudstar, Thunderbird. And
he wants to blame everybody for his problems.
I mean, I love Thunderbird. He's like one of my favorites. So I've read, so on Comixology, I was grabbing them on Comixology, and I ended up grabbing, so I've read 94 to 110 then I stopped getting them on Comixology because that's when Comixology started to get kind of crappy for me. And then I think I was just trying to find them other ways.
I've never really done Comixology. I just kind of like, I would just go on the Marvel app, pick them up, you know.
It's the same.
Yeah.
The Marvel app is Comixology.
Oh.
It's the same thing, except Comixology can do Marvel, DC,
it's as more
like
it's more
manga.
general. It does
General,
everybody instead of just Marvel.
right? But otherwise, it's exactly like Marvel's red, Comixology is green. Other than that, they look the same. And the DC app was also the same as Comixology, except it was blue.
Right.
So it was, right, blue DC, red Marvel, Comixology was green.
Okay. What about indie? What about indie books? Are they going to be orange?
Yeah, I know. Well, 2000 AD, their logo is white with the red around it, or with the red 2008. And then they had an app, and Dark Horse had an app which was the black and the white. So they all had their own apps or whatever for a while. But none of these. I have the more important issues of the Dark Phoenix saga. I actually wanted to get a collection from 94, to, whatever whenever that era ends, right?
No, actually, look at the Dark Phoenix saga one more time. Look at both the Phoenix and the Dark Phoenix saga, and think about how long they would be in relatively days. Don't think about the months. Just like,
right.
It's only like 3 days.
Like the whole you're talking about in the comic book time.
Yeah. It's
Dark
Phoenix saga was like 3 days, 3 really bad days.
Right.
The Phoenix was like a week. All that happened in a week.
Yeah, like that's insane. Like my week wasn't that busy. It's like
they were in space for most of that week.
So maybe time was different too. Like we don't know what the time was. Maybe the time was different.
That's my whole basis for my for explaining the X timeline. Like to us it's months and years, but to them it's like minutes and days.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah,
so I did Chris Claremont's, and his entire run, like to them, it's gonna blow your mind. 18 months.
That's it.
18 months.
Wow.
18. That's crazy because they were dealing with stuff every other week.
Wow, man.
I swear.
That's insane. All of those big arcs and everything. I was thinking
the big arcs were really, really fast. They all happened within like an afternoon.
Right.
It's like the Mutant Massacre, that was like a 3-hour event. That was the Olympics.
What about Inferno? How long was Inferno?
That was like a day and a half.
Gee, what? Yeah, my God, that went on forever. It seemed. I mean, I liked Inferno. I got the I've got the set of it or whatever. But it seemed like.
Well, think about it. You get other people's perspectives in that book.
Yeah.
So it may be like a long time for us, but them, it's like it's not that long.
Right. Yeah. Like it's all happening. Like each book is the same day. It's like like Game of Thrones book. One of the Game of Thrones books was it's the two, I think book 3 and 4 is the same thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. Or even Saw. Remember Saw 4 and Saw 3 and 4
were happening during the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was it's they're happening. It's it's just in a different section or something.
Oh yeah. So talk about it. It goes deeper.
That's crazy. What was the cover price on this giant size? Let me take a look here. I want to see what the.
I'm gonna say 65 cents.
Let's see, giant size.
Oh, 50 cents.
50 cents. Wow.
50. Can you imagine if you time traveled back then to get this book and bring it back now, and it's I got this for 50 cents. This is like 20 grand.
Right. Oh yeah, I know. I can't. There's no way I could ever get it. I don't know if you saw. I got a first Deadpool.
Yeah.
Nice. He's I think it was an 8.5. Yeah, 8.5. Yeah. And that was 400 Canadian.
What?
So that's not too bad. So for you, that's probably like maybe just under 300.
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. But I mean, that's going for like, $1,000, right? Like if you get a 9.8, a Mutants 98 in a 9.8.
Oh my god.
9898.
That marketing, they needed you in marketing.
That'd be good.
So,
yeah.
So with this, could they make this into a movie? Would you see this more as a miniseries?
I was thinking about that today. I was actually thinking about that. Wow. So I reread this today in preparation, and I know we're going to go through it. But I reread it, and I was thinking, if I was going to do X-Men right now, if you were going to somehow adapt this, you'd have to almost make it like the X-Men, like maybe there's some time warp, and it's like Cyclops makes it through some time warp, and then all of those other movies were a different multiverse. Like maybe show clips of each movie that came before and say that was another universe, and Cyclops has escaped from there. So you just get one guy who's Cyclops.
Yeah.
And then he comes in and he's like, I've had to form the X-Men team here on this like in 616 movie.
Yeah.
MCU, let's say, like
just say the MCU. It's not the 616.
It's also it's not. I'm sorry. Yeah. So MCU. So it's like he's like somehow. So pick. I mean, I like the guy who was Cyclops in that the Dark Phoenix movie. I thought he was fine.
I don't know. I like James Marsden. I say bring him back. He is
awesome.
He's got it so much better.
I thought he was awesome too, but I still
thought he was, I don't know. I've been following his career since X-Men, and he's been doing so much. He basically looks the same. He hasn't aged.
Oh yeah, he looks good. Yeah. Sorry, my buddy's just asking me what the stream is for this one. Gray Mountain.
Oh yeah, no problem.
I'm just texting him so he can see, because I just had a call from a friend who I haven't talked to in about a year. He's like, "How's it going?" I'm like, "I'm going live in 1 minute." I'm like,
what do you want, man?
I can't talk now. He's like, well, I said, I don't know when I'm going to be done. It's like, we're just going to go until we can't go anymore. That's pretty much it. Let me get the copy the link here for him.
If I was to do this would be I think this would be a miniseries. I would do like Giant Size X-Men as a miniseries, kind of play it straight, and imply Deadly Genesis, what happened with Vulcan and all those guys, like something like the X-Men see, like they see a picture, or like somebody sees it, or I don't know.
You could do, what you could do if you wanted to, you could do maybe a few shorts. Okay, so you know how Professor X acquires each character, right? He goes to all of them.
Yeah.
Those could be 15-minute shorts that are on YouTube, and then that leads into a film, and then they're all collected together, and the film starts from there. That'd be an interesting cross promotion thing, like put it on Disney Plus or whatever garbage, if Disney Plus is still there.
It would require people to have watched it, which if Disney's behind it, everybody would see it.
So. Yeah, I think it'd be neat. Like, look, we'll deep dive, but this comic represents what I want out of X-Men, which is I want to see cool characters in cool costumes working together to defeat something in an action setting. To me, the X-Men, at least in this iteration, is a call to action. It is like, okay, we have to go do something. And yes, humanity doesn't like us, but we're going to still do the right thing because that's the right thing to do.
Most of them haven't even dealt with the human part yet.
Like, that's true in this comic.
Storm, all right, just looking at everybody. Storm, Colossus, Colossus was dealing with the government aspect. Totally different.
Right. Plus, that was the Russian government, right?
Right.
Which basically says, shouldn't this go to the state? It's like,
It's like, yeah, Pete, you gotta go.
Yeah, like Thunderbird is like he's like, I don't care about you people.
Dude, but he got himself killed. He wants to blame everybody else.
Right.
No, but you got Storm, who, like, yes, we find out later she was born in the States, but she's a kid of she's an African kid. That's what on the fight. What's this? She's an African kid. That's what
Yeah,
it
and
is. Like,
she had the best gig. She was like basically a goddess or whatever.
yeah, but come on. At first, people just thought that she was like that crazy girl just talking, just
Right.
talking. It's just,
Hey, Sahir 18, thank you so much for popping in. You're a huge fan of both channels. Thank you so much. We appreciate
thanks,
that.
man. Appreciate you.
So yeah, no, I know. So Nightcrawler had the worst because he was like literally being hunted down. This is in Germany, I believe, was where he's.
Yeah. He got hunted, and it wasn't even his fault. That was so
He's
crazy.
just getting hunted. Yeah,
and they were about to stake him. They were literally like, what are they doing? Like,
do you know if this was this the first time that Professor X used his stop powers? Do you know that? Because I don't know if this was the first time. That's crazy. Because that's like such a staple now, right? Like everyone knows that.
It's crazy. Not like, yeah, that's the first time I remember him using it. Really, like, no, wait,
that's cool.
No, he did. No, he's used his powers widespread in like, and made a lot of people forget. He wiped their memories, a lot of people's memories at the same time, but like never like stopped them.
Like never froze them, where it's like they can't move. Because that was used in the movies, and that's right out of this comic. It's basically he just mentally commands everyone to stop, and then they just kind of freeze there. So that's pretty cool. So there's that. But yeah, I think they need to go into action. All of these other MCU or DC, all of these other properties fail because they never get into what makes the characters cool in the first place, which is X-Men are an action team. It's like, I like the New Mutants comic, and that's all fun, and that was interpersonal relationships and stuff. But realistically, I got bored with that comic. And then when Rob Liefeld came in, and it was like basically like New Mutants, his version, which is like a team of guys that like go out there with Cable. I'm like, yeah, this is badass. This is what I'm looking for out of X-Men. Like everyone thinks they're writing Watchmen all of a sudden. It's like, guys, like you're not.
Everybody wanted to be introspective.
Right. And you could still do it and still be like, I feel that in this comic, they still have personalities and each guy is distinct. And I don't think that, someone's being, ruined or this isn't, there's not enough depth. But what depth do you want? It's like, we need to get to the action, and the battle here is pretty awesome. I don't think any of the X-Men movies did it.
No. Well, not really. No. Like X2 just kind of expects you, like, hey, this is what we're doing. But the way I look at this, I kind of look at it as kind of like a TV pilot, because it sets up a bunch of stuff that's going to come to the payoff later. We're going to see the friendship between Wolverine and Nightcrawler develop. We're going to see Storm develop as a leader. We're going to see Cyclops adjust to this new team, because all of his people are gone at the end of this. Gone.
And he basically he's starting from scratch now. So it's like when you get in the beauty of this is that every one of these guys is starting from scratch, even the leader. So he's like, okay, I've got to wrangle all these people together, but half them don't like me, right? And then the other half are like, okay, fine, but then none of them are they're all new. They're not battle tested.
No.
What the hell?
A couple of them are, but not really. Like that. Like the majority of them are not like Storm is not battle tested. Colossus, it's not. I don't know what kind of battle testing can you really do with them. You just test. You just shoot things at them and see how much can you take. Nightcrawler, I can see him being battle tested. I mean, like,
but he didn't fight those people back. He kind of just cowered away, right? And he was so shy with his power.
He's very strategic with his powers, though.
Yeah, he's strategic in hiding, but not strategic in fighting back. Like the Nightcrawler we saw in Giant Size X-Men #1 is not the Nightcrawler you saw in the beginning of X2 who tried to kill the senator or whatever it was, right? Where he was jumping through. That was badass.
That was really bad.
That was the best part. That's literally the best thing in all of the.
I don't know. I don't know. They're, like the first 20 minutes in Wolverine Origins is pretty good.
Yeah.
First
yeah,
20, that's all I can say.
There's glimpses of hope in those movies, but it doesn't look as cool as your back. Like I'm looking at your background right now. Like that's what I wanted to see, right? And Avengers kind of gave you that, but X-Men didn't give you. Like, look how unique all these guys are. I like that they're a team. They share a logo. They've got the X symbol, but they look like they're themselves. It's not necessarily like we all have uniforms.
Actually, I don't even think any of them had the X symbol yet.
Not yet, but they will. Like
they will. That's when they earned it. But like,
these
are new students. Like,
right.
Like, good,
but they look different.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, looking back on this, I'm just like, man, all these, like, most of this team are superstars. Each and every one of them is a like. I kind of look at them kind of like the original Wu-Tang Clan. Like, Form is obviously the most popular. You got, Nightcrawler is really big. Wolverine's the best. Colossus gets overlooked, but he's awesome. What they're doing? I
love Colossus.
Finally, he's free. Peter's free, man. He's free of his country. If you're not reading X-Force right now, wow.
I've been skimming the current X-Force. I have been skimming through. Hey, Clobbering Times, how's it going, man? Thanks for joining in. You reread this last year? Oh, nice.
Oh, also, if we're gonna do fan casting, John Malkovich, Old Man Kid Omega.
Sorry, old man,
like the one of the old Kid Omega.
Okay. Oh yeah. Kid Omega. Yeah. Oh yeah. That does look like
John
him. Yeah.
Malkovich. Let him go full crazy because he could do it. Just let him or Willem Dafoe. Yeah. Willem Dafoe would be more like you wouldn't know where you're.
No, Malkovich looks better if you're looking at that character or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I was gonna do would you do this team? Like, if you were gonna do an X-Men movie right now, would you do this team or would you do original 5? Because I don't know.
See, I'm a TV guy. I would rather do the X-Men as a TV show.
Oh, okay.
Like, I would have 12 episodes of a coming of age of the original 5, and they deal with different stuff every episode. Like we do an entire episode where Juggernaut is the main guy, but it feels like a horror movie because you don't know what's going on because they don't
destroying everything.
Like build up the terror. Like
right.
When he comes in, you're gonna be like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, I feel there wasn't enough, I don't want to say action. There really wasn't. It didn't feel like there was enough of a threat in any of the movies where I felt like, oh shit, yeah, like we got to get in there. That was my problem. Like if you look at let's say Winter Soldier, which is, I guess, most people I would say Winter Soldier is top 5 MCU movies or whatever, right? So let's say it's top 5, right? And a lot of people think it's number 1, but why? Because there's a lot going on. Like the Winter Soldier himself is friggin' badass. Like he's destroying people. Like, oh shit! Like Cap's got to fight, and he's equal, right? So you're like, this is going to be a battle. But they also had a lot of other stuff going on. I just felt the X-Men movies were like I never saw Magneto really go all out. Like Magneto by himself can wipe out so many people, and it just wasn't happening. Maybe it's budget.
And if you're a comic book fan, you know this. You've seen him do this multiple times.
Oh, and he could, yeah.
I mean, I will say the Bryan Singer X-Men, we saw some things some creative uses of his powers, when the thing at the train station where he made all the humans' guns turn on them, and he said
Yeah,
like
that was neat.
I can't get them all. Or
Right.
Or what did he do with Wolverine onto the train where he just like threw him
Yeah.
while he was like spread eagle, and Rogue tried to go after him, and he sent that syringe in the back of her head, and he was like, "Young people."
Yeah. Yeah, but I wanted to see him flying around with shit moving around and like, do you remember? Okay, my favorite, well, in my top 5 favorite video games is the X-Men arcade, the double screen one with your 6 players all at once.
Yeah.
So Steve, Steve has the arcade 1-up version of that, which is 4 players at once, one screen, and it's like the arcade 1-ups are those ones where they take the big cabinet and they kind of make it a bit more accessible for home use. So it's like 2/3 as big or something. So it's not like the big full one. It's just like a smaller version, but still like you can stand up and play.
Right. I get it.
So he's got the X-Men one of that, and he's got Ninja Turtles as well, which is great. And it's like I go to his place, and it's like I mean, just using like Nightcrawler when you do the mutant powers, it's like foo, 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 it flies everywhere and all. It's like it's just so cool. I'm like, they haven't replicated this, and I wish that they would. But I think Bill might be a bit late, so we can start going through, and he'll kind of join.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Not a problem. Bill's always late. Such a diva.
I know. Come on.
Just big old diva. Big old diva. Big old huge queen. Nah. No,
you've never met him. You've never actually met him, right? Because
no, not in real life.
Yeah, because we go to the same comic shop or whatever. So,
nice.
But yeah, so we should be able to show you. So we can go through it slowly, and then when he comes. You'll have it on your screen, right? Because I'm going to take it off of my screen.
Yeah. Yes, I.
All right.
Yes, I do. Come on.
So this is a scan of what I believe this is a scan of what it originally looked like when it came out, and it's actually a very nice scan. We both own the sort of the reprint / I've got the facsimile edition. I don't think I know anyone who actually has an original giant size X-Men #1. I feel like that's out of our price range.
Yeah,
out of our price range.
Man, that's to say the least. I mean, just great. Come on, you're killing me right now. Okay, all right.
You got it.
Probably gonna.
Do you want me to put it on?
No, it's being slow. I'm gonna have to use mine. I got it. Oh no! It's got it. It's good. I get it.
You got it? Okay.
Just give me a minute.
Yeah, because I can queue it. I've got it on mine ready to go too. If you need me to queue it up, and I'll just move it over, and then you can. Once I.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Maybe it's better if you do it on your end. Let's do it on your end.
Yeah. Okay, hold on a second. Yeah. So I won't be able to see you when I do this, but I'll be able to see the chat, so we can keep up with the chat. If so, giant size. Here you go. So so you'll have to add it at the bottom.
Okay.
So it's like another screen.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. There you go. So now I'm controlling it.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so that looks good. Does that look good for you?
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay. All right, so let's go to the top. So this is like a scan of the original.
Now mine wants to work. See?
Okay.
All right.
So it's up to you. I won't be able to see you, but I'll be able to see the chat. So if we can respond. Can you see the chat? You should be able to still see the chat, right?
I can see the chat.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because sometimes when I do it myself, I can't see, and then it's like you feel bad. Okay, so giant size.
Oh, okay.
X-Men.
I'm right here. Okay. All right. Yeah. So giant size X-Men, #1 from 1975. May of 1975. So this was like the reintroduction of the X-Men. Like the new X-Men for the 70s. Like I'm just surprised, like with Marvel, they didn't put Storm in an afro and have her.
Hey, they gave her the long one. I like Storm in this. She looks good. So this is so here we've got like it's Beast, Angel, Cyclops, Iceman, Jean, and they're and the new guys are kind of busting out of the pages and saying, okay, that's the old guys, and Cyclops is still back. So here's your new team, but they are missing. Banshee's not on this cover, and Sunfire's not on the cover. Is there anyone else missing?
No, that's no, it's supposed to be 8 of them. Yeah.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah, but like on the top though, they don't have Havoc or Polaris, and Beast isn't there either. So
I think this is Beast.
Oh no! I mean Beast isn't in the book. This is the only time we see Beast.
Oh right, yeah. Beast is not in this book. You're right. He was somewhere else at the time. Yeah. Okay, so we've got everyone coming out. Len Wein and Dave Cockrum. So we know we're in good hands here. I love the art in this comic for sure. Like
yeah,
it's
like
just
look
like
how it's like the from the ashes come the new X-Men.
Yeah, this is badass.
This is amazing. So we kind of like jump in like who are these people? Who are these people?
So
the guy in yellow with the claws.
So basically, I don't know. Okay, so let me think about this for a second. This is Storm's first appearance. This is Thunderbird's first appearance. Colossus.
Yep.
Nightcrawler's first. This is not Banshee's first appearance, that's for sure. I love Banshee. Actually, I have a little statue they made from Dark Horse. It's like a wooden carved statue.
Hey, I have a lot of love for Banshee. Okay, especially, but he has the worst luck, the worst taste in women. Like, can he get somebody who isn't gonna like cut his face off and wear him like a glove? That's what you did, man. That's what you did. It was terrible.
So hold on. So wait, is this Sunfire's first appearance?
No, he actually showed up before.
Okay, so Sunfire showed up before.
Yeah. Like this is Thunderbird. Like everybody else with the exception of Wolverine, Banshee, and Sunfire are new.
Wow, so this is absolutely insane. Because Storm is one of the most important mutant characters, even to this day. Cyclops is up there. Nightcrawler's up there. Obviously, Wolverine is like, a smash hit. Now, I know Thunderbird dies 2 issues after this, but I actually really like Thunderbird. I was going to get a tattoo of Thunderbird. He was in my list to get. I got a bust of Thunderbird. I've got the figure.
Yeah.
Warpath was like, okay. I don't know why. I thought, did you like Warpath better?
Yeah, I love Warpath. Warpath was like all right, see, I feel like with Thunderbird, we're just getting a rehashing of what happened with Warpath. Like Warpath is way more powerful, way more cooler, he's a way better fighter than his brother. And
yeah.
I just don't. I think they do him an injustice by making him regress to that. Oh, my brother was an X-Man, so I'm gonna be doing this, and this. I'm like, no, he's stronger than that. Like he would have been like, okay, my brother's back. This is cool. Like, yeah,
would have been cool to team them up. I bought that Thunderbird one shot, which I did not think was all that great. I thought that was
not that great.
Yeah.
Thunderbird is a dick. He's a straight dick.
He's a dick. I know. I thought that was interesting about him, but he didn't really. His costume was poopy.
No. Why is he wearing all coral? How is that supposed to be like?
I don't know. It was not good.
It's like
I love this. I love the costumes here. I think to me this is very exciting. Like when I see this, I'm very excited. Like, whoa, who are all these cool guys, right? Like, this is my thing. Okay, so let's get to. Okay, so right off the bat,
we're getting through it. So
let's go through. Yeah. So Germany.
One part of X-Men continuity that has not changed. One of the few parts, Nightcrawler's origin, his first appearance. This has never been touched.
Yeah, so he's just being so we're in Germany here. So this is basically international X-Men as you put it earlier. It's like the X-Men international team.
Right. No, yeah, like they're making it global. Like we're getting like think of it like kind of like a James Bond movie. Like we're getting
for sure.
Or Germany.
So basically, I guess we don't know what's happened before this, but we assume that they've seen Nightcrawler. Obviously, they're scared of him and they're thinking he's some sort of like demon or monster. They're just straight up hunting him down. They literally resort to like lynch mobbing it. Like, look, they've got the torches. Like this is right out of like Frankenstein.
Exactly. Exactly. It's supposed to be Frankenstein, and with everything that's going on, it's like the parallels are it's really kind of fun that way. Like I kind of feel like he could have gotten out. Like he could just teleported from like house to house until like. He didn't have to like let them see him. I guess I don't know, but I didn't know.
Yeah,
great. Like Kurt Wagner, man. This is his first. He's coming out the gate, like showing that he's very capable. He's a capable young mutant, and he's like what, like 20 years old.
Right. Like I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, so this is great. Like he's kind of climbing and escaping, and they want to lynch him. And then here's where we were talking about. So basically, this is crazy here. He like jumps and like look at the cartooning here is good too because you get a lot. Okay,
everything's very action packed. Like I can see
action. Yeah,
I can see it like as if it was a movie. Like shot. Cut,
running. Okay, he's thinking, okay, I'm going to jump on here. Boom, climbing up. These guys are here. Boom, here he comes. And this is awesome. He's like on top here, like, with his fists up there.
Like, go away, you fools.
And they're like literally chucking shit at him.
There are so many people in that town. Look at that. There's so many people.
They literally,
right? That is so, like, that's a swarm.
And he just, like, jumps for it, man. Like, look at that, man! Boom, and then they're just swarming the crap out of him.
And they were starting to beat him.
And he's pretty skinny too, right? So like
very skinny.
This is insane. Okay, so then here we go. Now again, we're not exactly sure if this was the first time we saw the stop thing where it's like stop and then all of the people stop.
It's one of the most known. It's a better word for that. Like recognizable,
right?
Like, remember this part, and nobody ever says anything bad about him doing this, about Xavier doing this to save Nightcrawler's life. Nobody ever said, "Oh, you violated their privacy. You violated."
Oh yeah, no, I'm totally good with this. Like he's saving someone. Hey, Divine Truth, thank you for joining us.
Hey.
Yeah. So Professor X uses his powers here to put a stop to this lynching or whatever, and basically Nightcrawler really doesn't have much of a choice here. Like he's just like, "Hi, my name's Professor Charles Xavier." He's like, "You did this to them, how? Why?" It's like,
it's implied that he's like, "Hey, I saved your life, so you should probably come with me," or. Right. But the way I always thought about it is like, "Hey. This place is kind of bad. I got a place for you. You want to go? You trying to roll? Like, let's get out of here. I have a place for you."
Right.
Like,
yeah, and
show you what you are. I can show you some stuff. Like, if you think about it, Professor X is kind of a pimp. He goes around, people up like, "Hey, come on, baby. Like, give into the car. Make a choice. This is a decision."
Well, he basically Nightcrawler here has to go along with it because he really isn't gonna. But there's just something very interesting here where he's like, "I've got a school for mutants," and he's like, "I can help you find your true potential." And he says, "Can you help me to be normal?" And he says, "Well, after tonight's misfortune, Kurt, would you truly want to be?" And he's like, "Well, perhaps not. I want to be a whole Kurt Wagner." And He goes, if you can make me that, then, teacher, I will go with you. And you do, I think this, and just think about this for just 1 second here, because realistically, this is 1 page. So this is your start, 1 page, 2 pages.
We're like less than 5 pages in. And
yeah.
We already have like a character arc.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I was just going to say.
He wants to be a better person. He wants to be seen for what he is inside as opposed to the outside. And that's everything you need to know about him.
That's all you need to know. I'm so tired of how they do these constipated comics now where we need these, we need an entire issue to explain this guy. Why? This is 3 pages. And firstly, you've won over the audience, because if you're reading X-Men, you're identifying with the X-Men. Right? Like nobody's reading a comic and saying, I don't like these mutants. Like that just doesn't work that way. Like if you're buying Spider-Man.
They did though. It would be very interesting if they
that would be weird, right? Like if you're buying, if you're a kid,
like I would love to hear their rationale.
But they wouldn't buy it then, because you wouldn't buy something so it's like you're buying it because you're like, if you buy Spider-Man, you have a connection to Spider-Man, you want to see his adventures. So X-Men, you're buying it because you're like, well, I like the X-Men. So right away you feel something for Nightcrawler, and you understand his origin, and you understand why he would join. It's all done very quickly. Like in a film, in a good film, this would have been a very quick flashback. Like, he has a nightmare of him being chased. Professor X says, "Come with me," and then he comes with him, and then that's it, right? So it's like a flashback. So we're in Canada now. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, Quebec, big Q. Like so. We get like Wolverine. So we get like a government installation, a government facility, and we just get Wolverine. He's just mad all the time. Hey, what are you doing?
He's like standing mad.
Yeah, he's a grumpy old man. He probably just got beat up by Sabretooth.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, he was just out there fighting. And I would say that like Wolverine doesn't get much here, but we did see Wolverine before, so he doesn't need as many like pages or whatever devoted to figuring out his thing, because we kind of already know this character. Now, did you know that in the beginning they actually were saying that the gloves have the claws and it's not Wolverine's claws? Did you hear about that?
I heard about that, but like when I heard about that, I was like, wow, these people were stupid. Like how can he carry like the gloves, the blades in the gloves and know it not it just didn't make any sense.
No, it's like they're part. So, well, then somebody had said, I don't remember who, someone said, well, then that means anyone can be Wolverine, because if you just wear those gloves. So then, and then I don't know if it was Len or whoever was like, well, you know what? Or maybe it was John Byrne. I don't know who, or Chris who's like, well, why don't we have them? They come out of them. It's like, oh, that's cool. So
it makes more sense. Like I actually saw this one YouTuber who kind of explained how Wolverine's claws work within his body. Wow.
Because they're in here, right?
Like his hands had to be locked in, and the bones had to be readjusted.
Right.
While they're coming out. That's
like he wouldn't be able to go like this and because it would come out
locked. It has to be kind of like
Yeah. So I mean, whatever. It's suspension of disbelief, right? So we got the Canadian guy here who's like, oh, we still need you. You invested money, and he just. So here's where he snicks.
What is this guy's name? Because I remember him from the TV show. Name? They don't say his name.
I don't think they say it here. He's like, you can be a free agent.
Like, nope, they do not say his name.
Yeah, it's just like generic Canadian bureaucrat or something. So he basically cuts his tie with the one. So here's where you're showing that only one claw can come out if needed. So it looks like just one claw comes out here. See, it's not the full, like you see, it's only one claw. So he can control even that.
I think it's kind of like linking for him.
It is, yeah.
Like he has, like it's a mental thing. Like he gives like, okay, I want the middle one to go.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine how like that would be super useful, but you would have to psych yourself up just to use them because like they bust out of your hands.
And it actually cut through his knuckles, so then it heals around him.
Yeah, but like think about but you're still in pain, so you're crying, you're on the ground crying for like a couple of minutes. Like,
yeah, he's so used to it by now that it's not even a thing for him anymore at this point.
I don't know, man. After what, 1,000 times?
Yeah, I guess so. The first time must have been like, really, really nasty. Okay. So,
Nashville, Tennessee.
All right. So let's get into, again, Banshee has what, like 2 panels, right? Yeah.
Wow. It's a conversation.
I mean, do we know Banshee at this point? I don't think this is enough. Like, yeah, I'll join, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't see a problem with it. Like let's get to the new characters, right? Like
yeah.
Like so
East Africa. Storm.
Yeah, so now we're getting into so Kenya. Now what do you think about this whole thing with her being a kind of a goddess to these people? I thought this was very interesting. What did you think about this?
I think it's really cool. I think this kind of like with her fandom, they still see her this way, and I kind of look at it like how the people don't know what a mutant is. So like Storm being able to control the weather like this, of course they're gonna think that she's a goddess, of course, but she's not. It's just like it's what did they say about in the MCU movies? Like technology looks like magic,
right?
To people who don't know the difference,
right? Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Yeah,
yeah. And I go on. I fight on Twitter every day, explaining how Storm is not a goddess. She's like I mean, come on. We saw that in Sins of Sinister. Like her powers got boosted. Like, oh wow, there's more to it now. Okay, then she's not a goddess. Like,
right.
Where is her mutant? Where's her? My main question with her is, where does her mutancy end, and where does her godhood begin?
I mean, to them this is magic. Obviously, to these people, so that's fine. I like this idea that she's because they so let's get into it. Hold on, because they actually come over and they're like, well, we need help, and there's a drought, right? So this fellow says, well, I'll give you 10 goats and chickens, and we'll slay them in your honor. And she's basically like, look, just you need those animals. I don't need them. I'm just gonna do it, right?
Right.
And she just goes boom and just does it. And I love this is awesome. This whole panel here is awesome.
Yeah, and I like how this is one little errand, and then like it's like, what do you offer a goddess? It's like, what are you talking about? Like, and he doesn't say, no, the world I offer is not beautiful, but it is real, far more real than the fantasy you're living now. You are no goddess, Oro. You are a mutant. You have responsibilities. Come with me, child. Taste the world outside. You may find its flavor bitter or surprisingly sweet.
Yeah, it's coming up. What I like too is that so they thought that she was, but she wasn't exploiting anyone. Like I think the importance here of these panels is that it's saying that she's not really exploiting anyone to use her power. She is there to help, and obviously she can't help what these people think, right? Like,
right.
There's not much she's gonna say. Okay, I'm not a goddess. Okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, their minds can't grasp it. So it's better to just be like, yeah, you know what? Keep your 10 goats.
They don't know what a mutant is, and that's
right.
But if I say that, it's like, oh, so you're calling African people primitive? You're being anti-black. I'm like, it's not how it's how anybody would be.
Yeah, no, this is right. Yeah, you're like the point is that these are tribesmen. It's like this has nothing to do with any like they don't know. Like there's tribes, there's people in India. There's tribes in Africa. They don't know.
Yeah.
Like this has nothing to do with anything. This is just showing off a character that she's a good person. She's helping people where she can. They're going to think that she's a god. What is she going to do? She's going to say, no, I'm not a god. What are you? I'm a mutant. What's that? Well, I have powers. Oh, so you're a god. Right? Like that's just going to be a circular argument.
Easier to say that you're a god. It's kind of like that part in Ghostbusters. It's like,
yes.
Next time a demon asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
Yes.
Just say yes.
Yep.
Oh,
okay, so then Professor X, so she does bring the rain here for these people. And then Professor X is here. Now, how is Professor X getting to all these places? That's
he's rich.
Did he teleport there? Like, did he?
Actually, the way I'm looking at it is, all right. He went and got Nightcrawler face to face. I think he was telepathically talking to Banshee in Nashville.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
On his way to Kenya. Like, right. I think he can diversify like that. Like, see, right? It's not that.
Yeah, here he's definitely here because he's shaking his hand, right?
Right.
It's really the only flaw. Like he has to go to all these different countries to acquire these people. In the meantime, Polaris, Havoc, Iceman, Jean are all getting sucked dry by Krakoa while he's going to pick up all these people. But look, it's comic book, so you have to give it some sort of.
If you went to each place, I would say it like 2 days to get to each place.
Right. So I mean, I guess if he's got the jet, maybe he can get there faster.
Yeah,
but he's still got a wheel out here.
He's really rich, so he can.
Yeah.
So it started off in Germany, then Nashville. Through Quebec, then Nashville, then Kenya. Then he's going to get what was his plan? He could have gotten him there could have been a better way to do this.
It's a comic book thing. There's nothing. It is what it is. All right, so he basically convinces her with
zigzagging all over.
Yeah, and he goes. Yeah, so you already said what he basically says. Look, I'm going to promise you. I can't promise you a better world, but it's more real. So why don't you come with us and go? So at this point, we've got Nightcrawler established. We already knew Banshee. We already somewhat knew Wolverine, but if you didn't know who Wolverine was, they did give you a little bit of extra details.
Yeah.
And now we've got Storm. So we're shaping up pretty good. Yeah. The next stop is in Osaka, Japan. And
Sunfire.
Man, I think Sunfire's costume is awesome.
It doesn't need to change. It's never needs to change.
It looks so cool to me. It's just one of the coolest costumes. He just looks so awesome. So here, so basically, Sunfire's not happy.
It's just like the Banshee pickup. Like it's just like 2 panels. That's it.
Yeah, I think because Sunfire, this was not his first appearance, right?
No.
What is his first appearance? Let's take a quick look. Sunfire first appearance. Number X-Men 64.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, so I'm okay with that then. Like I'm okay with if the guy's not his first appearance, we don't need to. We don't need
motivations. But we actually kind of did because we know that he's arrogant. He's brass.
Yeah.
He doesn't like taking orders.
No, he definitely doesn't. he basically kind of like, yeah, I guess I'll come along. It's pretty random.
Like, whatever. I'll do this one thing for you.
Yeah. Now this technically the first Magic appearance, I guess?
Yes, I think it would be.
Right? Because so basically we go back to Siberia now, and he says, Peter, look, your sister, and sister, well,
Right.
that's Magic. Illyana. So I would say that this is her first appearance. I wonder if they count that as her first appearance. Let me see. Magic.
I think so. Yeah, I think they do.
Why not, right? Like Magic first appearance. Let's see. Well, if you go, okay, so first appearance as Illyana would be giant size, number one. As Magic, it would be in her series number one with her and Storm.
I count it. It's Magic.
I would count this. Why not? This is her first appearance. Like, so yeah. So now we've got Peter here.
I love this. He goes the same sister. The same sister who later on in life cock blocks him so hard with his future wife.
Well, you know,
it was so wrong, and he still doesn't know.
What do you think's going on here? You see the way that this is depicted. So I want to take a look at this a bit more in depth. Okay, yeah. So there's a tractor coming. We can see. Can you see my mouse?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. So you see the tractor coming. She's going to get hit.
Right.
Now, here's what these three panels is what I want to think about. Okay, without hesitation, Peter Rasputin is running, legs pumping, heart pounding. So he's running towards the very air around him, crackling with the energy of his exertion, energy released in a most astonishing manner. So this feels... Okay, in the X-Men arcade game, the 6-player 2-screen one, mm-hmm. Cyclops' mutant power, because he's just Cyclops, he actually goes raw.
Yeah.
And like it's like his armor explodes out.
It explodes as it expands. Yeah.
It expands. So what like this is not really how it's depicted now, is it? Like I never really got like what is happening here? Is there some sort of there's an explosion, the armor becomes on him? Like the way you see it in the movies, it just kind of like forms around him, right?
Kind of like, it's more organic. I think they were just going for the trend, you know, like Shazam, like
right.
Metal Man. No, I always kind of saw his powers like it's different for different parts of his life. Like he can go like, or maybe he just like, him. It's kind of like it sounds like a transformer changing.
Yeah, I think because this is the first appearance, there's always an asterisk with the first like few appearances of characters. You always have to have a little asterisk because they're working it out.
Yeah,
right? Like the thing with Wolverine and the gloves, and they were just a claw. Like the claws were part of the gloves. It's like that was just something that they were working out, and then that didn't really play out and continue on in other comics. Like that was just sort of ignored and be like, no, those were his claws coming out of the gloves. So same thing here. It's sort of this explosion thing. I don't think this really lasts anymore. Like I don't know if it's in issue 94, but it's not something that's around now. He just kind of becomes metal. It's almost like what you're saying, like, or like, remember in the 89 Batman where he puts the shields around the Batmobile and they just kind of form around.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. I was thinking that.
Yeah. So it just kind of forms around him.
So like he's supposed to be 19 years old.
Wow.
19 years old.
And that's pretty...
and the sister's supposed to be what, 5?
Did they say?
No, I don't think they say. I just like
she's like a little kid. Like, look, she's.
So what do you say? 4, 3, 4.
I mean, So if she's like 4, I mean, like she's like, yeah, she's playing with like a sand. Like how is she not hearing this? Um,
Yeah,
but
like
anyways, Colossus runs in and saves her, and then basically just like demolishes this thing.
yeah, I mean, like he just runs through it.
And then
And
he feels bad. He's like, oh, they're gonna have to buy another one.
yeah, like yeah, they it's the same story that happened in on the cartoon. He said like the government was suspicious of any damage to any of their equipment. Okay, like he had to take the blame, and he left his home. But he Xavier got to him before he had to go and really leave his home.
Okay. Yeah, because then Xavier comes in right now, and he actually says, he's like, if I possess such power as you say, does it not belong to the state? This is just his sort of his
Yeah,
thinking, because that's everything goes to the state. And he's like, no, it belongs to the world, Peter. It's like you use it for good. It's like, oh, okay. And then the parents are here. This is like exactly like my great grandparents looked exactly like this. Because
you know,
I've
the kind of thing with Colossus, like if you take away the Russia part, he sounds like a good old boy. He's like, my power belongs to my country,
right.
even to be America. And I wish they would just like write him better. Like they make him seem like he's so depressing to be around.
Right. Like, yeah, it seems like he should be more of a happy-go. Now, the intent, I think, I can't remember if it was Len or Dave, who the intent was that that Colossus be sort of the breakout character, and then John Byrne made Wolverine the breakout character because he was Canadian and he wanted to give us our Canadian guy, which I think is hilarious. But I do see that Colossus has, I don't want to say generic, like Storm obviously has a very unique origin, and Kurt has more of a sad thing, but he has more of the I'm a good guy, I'm saving people here.
Superman. He has
yeah, he has a more of a like generic kind of, like basic superhero origin. So it seems like, yeah, he's going to be the big good guy, right? He's got the big muscles, he's got that blue hair, that how they have the dark, how they use the blue for the shading. Okay. So now we're cutting into Arizona, and we have Proudstar, John Proudstar. And I actually love this. I love that it starts off with him like bringing a bull down. I mean, to me, this is all of the art here just works so well. Like he's running, you could see that there's been this big chase here.
Yeah, this is a lot of action. I think it just wanted to show his power. Like,
yeah, and he like
he can do.
I actually feel like him take this bull down. Like it's like he just brought it down.
And think about how fast he's going.
Yeah,
he's very. And also, like this piece of dialogue right here. John Proudstar is an Apache, and he is ashamed of his people. The Apache were meant to be hunters, warriors, not the sad-eye simply squaws. I'm like, wow, that's hard.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know. He goes, they were meant to run free through the crisp plain grasses. It's like nope. It's like nothing could stand before the Apache. But so he brings the bull down here, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, it's like I love how he's just like, how in blazes did a cripple get way out here? And so I was like, you're right, Johnny. Like, how did that happen? Like, what's going on here?
Maybe this was a telepathic projection as well.
Yeah, so it could be. That's a very interesting take. I never thought of that. Like, it's just like he's just seeing them. But we know that the Wolverine was in Canada, so that's probably not a big. That's like one quick flight over.
What if Storm was a telepathic projection?
She could have been.
I mean, that would have been very interesting.
Yeah, because Professor X is able to make you see him, right?
Yes, he's able to project his image in your mind.
I think that's what's going on.
So, like, for Nightcrawler and Wolverine, I would say
Banshee.
No, I say Storm, Banshee, maybe Colossus, were all like telepathic projections.
I think Wolverine's the only one he went to because he actually was in a room with other people shaking their hands and stuff.
What about?
I think everyone else could be a projection.
But what about Nightcrawler? I mean, he like.
Oh, Nightcrawler. Maybe he did. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, maybe he was there for that one.
I think like for 4 of them, he projected himself, but like it actually that makes more sense on just on a traveling issue because like
right.
he would be exhausted. Like I can see that he did this while he was resting. He talked to the other people all at the same time, and he talked to all of them at the same time, and then like it's like okay, I need to get some sleep because I traveled to like 3 countries in 4 days. 4 countries.
Yeah, I actually like this projection idea, and I think that could make more sense because he even says, "How did you get out here?" Right, so that's your clue that maybe he's not really there; he's just only seeing him.
Yeah.
But he says, "I've come to help you fulfill your dream, to give you pride back to your people. You are special, John Proudstar. You are a mutant, and you are needed." And then I love that he's like, you know what? Like, I don't care. And I love he's like, beat it. And then he's like, oh, I offer you the chance to help the world and you turn your back on me. Perhaps what they say is true. Perhaps the Apache are all frightened, selfish children. He's like, what? It's like, that was awesome.
Yeah, he basically like, hey, sounds like you a bitch. He's like, what? I ain't no bitch.
Yeah, he turns around, he's like, hey, what the hell?
Right? I know it's and like I like how he like Charles had to be that kind of like reverse psychology because John is so simple. Like he's supposed to look like he's in his 30s, but
Yeah.
he joined the Marines when he was 16. He fought in Vietnam, so I would say around this time he's like 24. He's a kid. He's still a kid, or he's a young man.
Young man, yeah.
Like I'm not saying all the X-Men were old, but like they're all kids, but like a lot of them were old, like not that much older than the original X-Men. At least Storm, Nightcrawler, and Colossus.
Yeah, they're all young, yeah. That's kind of the, and then I would say the New Mutants are like the young ones, right? Like
yeah, they were kids. They were teenagers.
Like 14, 15, 16,
yeah.
maybe something like that.
Yeah, Karma was like 18 years old when she joined. That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So okay, we've got all. Do we have everybody?
Yeah, we have the entire party.
So how many pages was that? Let's take a look. I actually want to know. So not counting the cover. The ads are also removed here, so it makes it easier. So this doesn't count either. This is not anything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Was this 9 now? 10. So it's like what, 10 pages and we got everybody?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Crazy. I would say the movies really did that well. Like the collection of like picking up all the X-Men. First Class did that really well.
Yes, yeah, that was cool. So here you go.
Yeah.
Here they all are.
The second 7.
Yep. Now what do you think about now here's a question. Colossus blue pants or no blue pants?
You know what? I no blue pants. I'm okay with it.
You're okay with no blue pants? Like
having just you know, whatever. You know, he does what he does. That's him.
Yep.
I mean, do you like Storm with the pants?
I like this. I like, to me, this is what Storm is. This is her outfit. Black with the white hair, right? Black and, you know.
Yeah. And also, if you look at these seven, and you think about where they are now, it's crazy. Nightcrawler, Storm, and Colossus, all members of the council. Thunderbird, like
Yeah,
on
he's
a rock.
back now.
Actually, oh whoa! Actually, if you think about it, Storm, Banshee, and Thunderbird are all on a rock, and and Sunfire, I guess they're all on a Rocco at the same time.
Is it? Yeah, Sunfire. Last time I read him about him, what was he doing? I can't remember. He was on the X-Men, wasn't he? But then he got voted out, right?
No, he left.
He left as always. He always leaves. You can't trust that guy. All right, so Sunfire, as usually, is angry and pointing the finger, but then boom, here comes Cyclops. Now, what I think push comes to shove, this is my favorite Cyclops outfit.
Really? Okay.
I think I've got I have like Dark Horse did these wood carvings of characters, and I've got Banshee and Cyclops. They're really nice, and I've got Namor, and they're one piece. They're all carved out and they're all painted, and they look a little bit, I want to say homemade, but they look like handmade pieces. Have you seen these?
I have not.
Oh, I'll you.
It's funny that you say this is your Cyclops, because like this is cool, but I like the 90s Cyclops. I like that like the pouch thing he had. And also there's this one outfit that I thought was just fire. It was all gray. It was right before Grant Morrison. It was right after he came back. He had long hair like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 2. He was becoming like more like breaking out of his shell a little bit. Like, dude,
let me see what do you know what year it was?
It came out 2001. Like
2001
January.
Let me see. Okay, well I'm only seeing the Grant Morrison style one with the X jacket, right?
Oh no, before that.
It's before that.
Yeah.
So you like the Jim Lee X, like from the cartoon?
Good. Like I had no problem with the Jim Lee stuff. Like but I liked it. I really like when he was red, when he was black and red. I'm like,
I thought that was cool too.
That was so cool. And the
cool.
And the X thing, like that was. I'm like, okay. What I don't like about this outfit is the goggles. Like they're so bulky.
They are.
Like
they're a bit bulky.
It's like putting like a. Yeah, it really is. It's like putting a pair of goggles on your face, like those science class goggles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
you know what you're saying? Yeah. Well, my Cyclops here is this one.
Oh, nice.
The tattoo is that one with the lines going down.
Yeah.
So I opted for that Cyclops just because I thought that would look cooler as a tattoo or whatever. But anyway, okay, so let's get to it. Here's where it gets going. So this was all leading up, really acquiring your new team, and then boom, here comes Cyclops. So now he's going to explain what happened to the others. So what issue is he explaining? Was it 93?
Actually, here's the thing. With up to this point, everything that we got from like 64 to like, yeah, it was like 64 to like 93 were all reprints. So like really nothing. We don't know what happened. They just got this. This is like brand new.
Okay, so yeah, what so do you think was this just made up then to say that this is what happened?
Yeah, this is made up. Like there was no lead up to this.
Okay, I did not know that. So that's interesting to know. Let me look X-Men. Let me see the other comics. I'm on the other thing here. So X-Men Volume 1. Yeah, here we go. So let's see what 93 looked like. Yeah, so you're saying these are all reprint books, right?
Yes, these were reprints.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It has. I'm looking at X-Men 93 right now on another screen, and it's pretty much just like Cyclops fighting guys. And Angel looks terrible. I hated this costume.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah, they're just fighting Quicksilver. Okay, so yeah. So this basically made up its own backstory for what happened.
Yeah. Because the X-Men up to that point were kind of like, you didn't hear about them.
Right.
Oh, also, I did with my explaining the timeline, the X-Men were really together for like 2.5 years. They're
Up
like
until this point?
Yeah, they're like 18 at this point.
Okay. Wow. That's crazy considering there's 90 issues. But if a lot of them are reprints, I guess that's that.
Yeah, but like a lot of those books kind of like blend in with each other, and then like
right.
Yeah, like my main thing was, unless it was explicitly said that weeks went by, you gotta imagine like the next panel is like, okay, this happened later on that day.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, there was some sort of mutant detection on this island, and they thought it was just a very powerful solo mutant. But obviously, they find out that that's not the case. But we don't know that yet. So they get into their Stratojet and fly. So here you've
SR-71 Blackbird. Love that.
Yep. Yeah, this thing's awesome.
It really.
So here,
Insignia, X-Men Insignia on the side.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I never noticed that.
I like this little exchange right here about bees. Wish we could have contacted the bees. Hank McCoy's dexterous digits might be a handy on a job like this. What to say? What was she trying to say?
Like what? Why is he being funny? She's being funny. It's like handy.
X-Men, Gene. If he hasn't got time for us now, that's his business. I'm like, geez, bro.
Oh,
you could have called.
Yeah, really. So here he has the thinner. I just want to point out too. Here he has the thinner goggles, because the ones that he has earlier, the bulky ones are his old pair that they had to use because of what happens from this, right?
Right.
So these were the thinner ones.
The new ones, yeah.
Yeah, no, these are the old ones.
Oh, the old ones. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Well, how am I? No. They're newer than the ones that he had earlier on, because the earlier ones were older ones because these ones got damaged.
Right.
There we go.
So like, yeah, we're going through it, and this would feel like part Jurassic Park, part Aliens, where like they're on a new situation where it looks cool, but like something really bad is going on.
Yeah, they basically get to the island and we don't know, like Cyclops himself doesn't know what happened.
Yeah.
Because there's some sort of explosion or something that we don't really understand. And he wakes up and he's all beat up and he doesn't have his visor. And then he realizes that his eyes are not shooting out the force blasts. So he's been cured, lost his powers. And he's like, what the hell am I going to do? So he gets back home to Professor X, and he's like, I'm back. It's like, Cyclops, what? Where are the others? And he's like, I don't know. And then I guess they come back. Now they do say something here. He gets his powers back, but they're strong, but it's stronger.
I guess he wasn't ready for them to come back that way.
Yeah. Your object powers have returned. Okay. With a vengeance.
Yeah.
And this time they were so strong, even I could not control them. So, because they mention here he goes back to do training.
And he said the professor modified one of my old visors to contain my increased power.
So that's why they're the bulkier ones, because they're the older ones.
They're an upgraded version of his old ones. Okay. Yeah. All right, that makes sense. These are the new old ones. Not the new ones.
Old ones.
Old ones.
Correct.
Old new ones. Oh.
Okay, so there you go. That explains that. He goes, so now Cyclops like, well, we have to go back to Krakoa to find the original X-Men. And I love how, look at, man, Sunfire's great. He's like, incorrect.
Like, no, you go back. I'm not going back. He's like, screw this. And I like how North Star and Wolverine, not North Star, jeez. Thunderbird and Wolverine are essentially the same character. Like, they're both like, we're not doing this with him. Like, we don't like it. We don't like Cyclops.
Yeah, this is why they got rid of
Thunderbird.
Yeah. Because it's just redundant, right? They should have done a what if Wolverine sacrificed himself instead of Thunderbird.
Yeah,
that would have been
he would have made it because his powers and everything.
So maybe picks up like, what if Cyclops, or what if Colossus,
or Storm,
or what if Storm or something gave it? You know what I mean? That would have been an interesting what if to see, like, because like what if Proudstar stayed, or what if Cyclops gave up? What if they did a what if Cyclops died and then Proudstar becomes the leader because he feels bad that Cyclops died or something? That would have been an interesting. That'd be an interesting what if.
I would say that. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I get that. I'm with you on that.
It'd be interesting to see.
Like, so with this team, I like how like they all said yes, we're gonna go help you, Charles. But then like when Cyclops tells them what happened, they're like, no, we aren't doing this. No, we're out. Like, we're gonna leave. Like, they instantly back out. They're constantly threatening to leave.
Yeah, Sunfire basically is like, I'm done. I'm not going.
Yeah, I'm not doing this. Like, why would I do this? This is stupid. Like, you're the dumbasses that went around to mess around with an island that you didn't know anything about. What's wrong with that? No.
Yeah, like, hello.
Yeah,
Sunfire decides to opt out, and so now they're just going on without him. I mean, he opts out for about what, 3 panels?
Yeah. And
1,
like, okay, I'm back.
2, 3, panel 4. Hey, I'm back. It's like, dude, like, make up your mind here.
Seriously, he's like, I think he has ADD. I think.
So he's like, okay, I'm back.
It's like, I forgot my toothbrush and I don't know where I am.
Oh my god. So okay,
like,
so he's back.
they make it to the early Savage Land.
Yeah, sort of.
In a sense, like the jungle aspect, the fact that like they don't know what they're looking for or exactly what they're like.
I think that's one of the things that they sucked out of what they sucked out of the films was all of the fantasy elements, like having all of these exotic lands and these really, like, you don't even need to, like, Magneto could have been the first villain, but even having Krakoa be a villain and them fighting a huge island monster would be very interesting, right?
Yeah. It would like make it fun and then make it darker. Yeah.
Anyway.
So we get to the team. They're back. Cyclops is prepping them. Sunfire's talking trash. Like, you don't tell me what to do. You're not my father. He really does that. It's weird.
So, well, here's where they break up into teams of 2. So let me see here. We've got Storm and Colossus are going to form a team.
And they don't know
Banshee and
anything about
Wolverine.
powers.
Yeah, that's weird. Banshee and Wolverine, Sunfire and Nightcrawler, and then and Colossus goes with Thunderbird. So is that right? So 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, so 8 teams of 2.
Right.
No, 8. What am I saying?
No, 4 teams.
4 teams of 2. So 8. Yeah, 8 in total. Okay, so what team did you like here? I was like, I mean, I don't know.
It's weird because like we never really see these people interact ever again.
Yeah,
except for Storm and Colossus, but I really like Sunfire and Nightcrawler, and Cyclops and Thunderbird seem like they're the beginning of a buddy cop movie.
Yes. They're like, what? The jet is gone. Oh my god.
Like I don't like you. I don't like you, Pepperwood. I don't like you, convict.
It's like that's impossible.
Like, he would say something like low key racist.
So this is basically like a D&D adventure where they split the party because each group encounters different sort of, obstacles to get to that main kind of base, that tower in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I'm getting to.
Oh, yeah,
did you send me a link?
Yeah.
Which one is that?
I sent you that Cyclops. That Cyclops.
Oh, the Cyclops. Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a good look.
Yeah, that looked cool.
Yeah. But
Uncanny X-Men 391. All right, awesome.
Yeah, Scott Lobdell, he knew Cyclops.
I mean, I've pretty much liked all the Cyclops outfits. Mm-hmm. The only reason I picked this one for my tattoo is because I was just reading that story and I thought it was really neat and all that stuff. So it was really cool. And I just thought, like, if there's too much yellow, it doesn't translate well as a tattoo. Yellow does not come out good on your skin. It starts to just turn into like flesh colored. So I didn't want it to be flesh colored.
Cyclops.
Right. And even then they did it pretty good. Like he did it more of like a darker thing. But I was like, I didn't want it to be blue either because sometimes blue can get mucky. So it's like I thought, let me just do the gray with just the yellow trim that he had, and he had those 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cyclops is the man.
He's got just all the outfits are cool too.
Him and Cable. I would say him and Cable had some really good ones. Like
Cable's awesome. I was going to do a Cable one too. Yeah, Cable's great. Okay, so Cyclops and Thunderbird are attacked by these like vine creature thingies.
It's Jumanji. That's the pitch it could have been. X-Men versus Jumanji.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, like, because like the jet was gone. The jet, like,
what it ate it or something, or like what happened there?
I don't know. I think it probably just like swallowed it. And Wolverine, we got Wolverine attacking giant claw lobster man, the giant lobster claws.
Yeah. So here we go. Yeah. So these guys were attacked by the vines, and then Banshee and Wolverine are attacked by these giant like lobsters. Which actually, that is Professor Bill. What's going on with him? He's like,
it actually works. Yeah, this is good. Like, I love Banshee. Banshee doesn't get enough love. Like, if anything, I say Banshee's probably one of the best mutant teachers because he had to deal with with a bunch of students, but not only that, Emma Frost, making sure she doesn't kill them or sell them into slavery.
Yep.
Actually, she would have done that. She would have done that back in the day.
Well, yeah. Bill just texted me, so he should be coming in. All right, he's getting there. So check backstage, see if he's there.
Okay, I got you.
Is he back?
Oh yeah, he's here. He's here. Hello.
Hello.
I apologize. I feel like the least reliable person in the world.
That's okay. You got your Ant-Man. You wore the wrong shirt. It's X-Men, not Ant-Man.
That's what it is. You just can't see it because See, I'm such a screw up, dude. Like I'm an hour and a half late. Dude, I apologize so profusely, dude.
It's okay, man. We're in the first 40 minutes of the movie.
My buddy. So during what did I just see in the theater? What's the latest superhero movie what just came out?
Guardians.
Oh no, Guardians.
So my friend had already seen Guardians because he had got a press pass for it, but I already bought tickets for him or whatever. So he's like, "Oh, I'll just go anyways." So he came along. He had something bad for dinner. He got up. He was gone for the last 40 minutes of the movie. So he came as the credits were rolling and straight face came up. He's like, "Did I miss anything?" And I just was cracking up. Now he'd already seen the movie, so he didn't matter to him. But yeah. I was crying. I was like, "Dude, I thought I was like trying to text you. I'm like, are you dead? Like, what happened?" He goes, "I have had like I don't know what I ate." I was like, "Okay, you don't need to talk anymore. I'm fine. Yeah. We can end it there." But he came up. He's like, "Did I miss anything?" I'm like, "Yeah, the whole damn ending."
Yeah, the third act.
But he did. I already knew that he'd seen the movie, so it didn't matter. But it was just the way he did it was good. Did I miss anything? It's like, yeah, all of it. Like, so you haven't missed anything. We basically just covered.
This is very early in the comic book that you're at.
Like we're about like I don't know if this is like halfway or whatever, but they're just getting to Krakoa.
We're doing all the setup before we just get into the action. Like the way this book is set up, it's like a Guy Ritchie movie. Like we spend like the first quarter getting all the people explaining why are they there, and then now we're where we're supposed to be.
Now, Bill, maybe you know this because I wasn't sure. In the beginning of this comic, when Kurt is being attacked by the lynch mob or whatever, Professor X does his stop thing where like he kind of freezes everybody. Is that the first time that he had used that? Because I don't remember. Yes. I thought so.
Yes.
Yeah. So all he did was he just like kind of made them freeze in the track. It's kind of like, have you ever seen when he does the mental invisibility?
Yep.
Yeah. Makes people not realize that they're there. This is kind of like the thing where it's just he kind of just does a shut off switch inside of people, and he just didn't do it for Kurt.
Okay. So question 2 now. So Gray and I were discussing this. I was questioning the time factor of him acquiring all of these guys while Polaris and Havoc and Jean and Bobby are getting drained. And Gray was thinking maybe some of them he projected his image to them as opposed to actually physically, like he didn't just like, I'm flying to Germany, now I'm flying to Japan, now I'm flying to wherever.
And why would he do that?
Convenience. It's easier because like
the big question that everybody asked was, how do you get his wheelchair out to these crazy places and whatnot? Right. So
exactly,
that's more of a no prize kind of thing, but absolutely, it would make more sense that he just projected his mental image to people and
yeah. Like the only ones he actually went to see were Nightcrawler, Wolverine
for sure,
and I think Sunfire. I think so.
Yeah, because he's getting tea served to him or something, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Right, and the Wolverine, he was shaking hands with the government stooge guy, and
you don't even know his name, Taggart or something. Was it Taggart?
It wasn't Taggart. No, I don't know who it was.
I don't remember, but that was what this is. Wolverine's, I think, 4th appearance, second full appearance. He had a cameo in the beginning of Hulk 180, full appearance 181, and then cameo in 182.
Right.
Yeah, so we didn't get much, which is we didn't get a lot with Wolverine in this issue, which is okay because he's appeared before. Sunfire appeared before. Banshee appeared before. So we focused on Colossus, Nightcrawler, Storm, which makes sense. Those are your new people.
Which, funny enough, this is also the first appearance of Illyana Rasputin.
Oh, I was just that was my next question.
That. Yeah.
My next question was going to be: do you count that? I would say yes. We count this as an appearance, right? Unnamed, but right. Sister.
Unnamed cameo first appearance, absolutely.
For sure,
also the first appearance of his parents who spoke.
Yeah,
we don't even know their names. We don't know their names.
Well, yeah. But no, so this comic's pretty insane. And we'll do a wrap up too, but it's pretty insane, like all of these characters, and they're still so huge now. Like this isn't like, I don't know, this has the most appearances of characters that actually went on to be super important ever, I think. I can't think of any other comic that has this. I mean, obviously X-Men #1 or whatever has 6 people, I guess. But this group seems more like.
Plus, X-Men #1 didn't get nearly the fanfare that this.
No, it didn't. But this is also like a relaunch, like
pretty much
because like everything from like 64 to 93 was all retelling of old stories. So that's nuts to me. They counted. They actually counted.
Yeah, the next one was 94, right? That's what.
Yeah.
So it was this, and then 94 continues right from this comic, pretty much.
Yeah. Even on the Marvel fanfare, they consider this Illyana Rasputin's first appearance and unnamed.
Yep. Unnamed, yeah.
Mr.
Yeah,
Rasputin,
so that's awesome.
Mr. Rasputin. Yep.
Look at all those suckers on Iceman. He must love it.
All those what?
All those suckers on Iceman on the Krakoa page. When they find all of them.
Okay, we'll get to. We're almost
here, real quick. Not Taggart, Major Chasen in the Canadian Army.
He was a dick.
Was apparently his only appearance.
Yeah, he was a dick.
Wow.
Like, apparently, why is it in the Marvel universe the Canadian government is actually really scary? It's so scary.
Mounties always get their man, so you gotta.
I've got things to say about that, but I won't do that to your podcast. As an American living in Canada, yeah.
So we've got the Pantheon. I'm Canadian from day one. We got full American, then we've got an American in Canada. So it's like we have
the progression of an American leaving his country.
Join us. Join us. Evil Dead 2. Join us.
No, here's another scene from what do you call it? Dead 2.
A fell where to arms. I love that. Where he puts puts the book on it. Okay, so they've teamed up now. So we're at the part here where they've all paired up in very interesting pairings, and we just quickly looked at Thunderbird, who I really love. I love Thunderbird. I love his attitude in this.
He's such a dick, though. He's such a dick.
I don't know. I've got a bust of him. I was gonna get a tattoo of Thunderbird. I don't know. There's something about this guy. For me, the panel, we talked about this earlier. The panels.
Up now.
Oh yeah, when he's running with the bull, and the way he takes it down, I just thought, wow, this is so badass. Like
Buffalo, yeah,
the Buffalo. Sorry,
it's he's not like lifting a tractor out of the thing or stopping a button. It's just literally like here's a wild animal and boom, he runs out of nowhere and just stops and slows it down
at full speed, and it's going full speed, and it just like
the art is awesome. Like the cartooning, because there's people say the art, but there's also the cartooning, which people don't address that often. It's like panel to panel. It's like I see the progression, I feel it. It's like when he takes it down, you're like, oh shit, that was good. I find that sometimes nowadays it's almost like they forgot how to make a panel worth something. Like I'll read a current book and I'm like, okay, these 3 panels need to go. Like, what is happening here? Like, this could have been condensed into 1 page and still tell the story. And it feels like a lot of filler. And that's my constipated comics of today, where it's like, if I said this, if Watchmen came out today, it would be 52 issues long, right? It would be like, we need to explain. If you look at this, Nightcrawler, this is Nightcrawler's first appearance. What did we say, Gray? Was it 3 pages or what was it?
Yeah. Yeah. So like
3 pages. You understand the character. You are with the character. You're immediately on his side. You immediately like him. You understand why he would go with Professor X. It's like, this is 3 pages. And it's the full goddamn like appearance origin of a new. There's so many new guys here. This is like awesome. I mean, this is the time of like awesome comics, man. Like, I don't know. Anyway,
Nightcrawler's a character. I don't think that in general women love a comic book character more than they love Nightcrawler.
There's something about that character.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone hates. There's people that might be like, well, he's not my favorite, but there's no one out there saying Nightcrawler sucks.
Yeah, I would love to meet that person.
Me too.
I've never
please explain it.
Right. Oh, and here's a good time I want to show you guys this before. Hold on a second. I'm just going to remove my earbuds.
You know what I love most about J-Man?
What's
This
that?
dude will back up his love. Yeah, let me say it while he's listening.
Oh, I'm back.
What I love about J-Man, this man will back up his love of anything that he loves with proof. Like all this, like,
Show
look, I got
your
these
work.
figures, I got
Show
these
your
comics, I
work.
got these posters, I got these statues. Look, I met the person, I brought him here. This guy's like, help me, blinking really fast. And
He's tied up in the back. Help! I have a fan. Help.
Like, you challenge J-Man's love of anything he says he loves at your own peril.
Yeah. No, remember in Annie Hall? I don't know if anyone's seen Annie Hall, where Woody Allen's talking to that guy. They're talking about Marshall McLuhan, and he's like, well, Marshall McLuhan said this thing. He goes, no, he did. He goes, yes. He goes, well, I happen to have him right here. And they literally pull him out. And he's like, I never said that. That's stupid. You're like, what is this? No,
I love
the
that.
first ever comic book store I ever went to, the first things I bought at the first comic shop, because I used to buy my comics at the convenience stores and like 7-Elevens and these kinds of the newsstand kind of
At
places.
our age, that's all that existed for the most part.
Right. So first comic shop I ever went to, here's the 3 things I bought. I got
Warren Worthington.
Archangel, my brown costume Wolverine.
Best one.
I love it. My favorite costume. And of course,
Nightcrawler, nice.
Nightcrawler.
Worst mother ever.
And literally I've had these like since like little, like whatever, first comic source. So just imagine when that
What
would have been.
age?
I have no idea. Like a little kid. Like what's the year on these? These are all these. I've actually got the White Vision, and Gray always makes fun of me when I say the White Vision, but that's what I call him.
Yeah, he's the White Vision.
He's the White Vision.
Is that the White Vision?
So
man?
it's Archangel. That would have been. That was
Yeah, X Factor 35, I think, was his first appearance, which I have. So I don't know whatever.
Was it that late? Yeah, I guess so.
I think so. I think it was that.
And even then, would have had like that was Louise Simonson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was probably like 12 or something or whatever, right? Like, anyways, so okay, so we had these guys.
Yeah, am I only like 2 years older than you? I'm 47.
Yep, I'm 45.
Oh, okay, yeah, good. Yeah, you were probably around 12 that time because I think I was 14 when Archangel came out.
Both you guys are older than me. I'm the young one.
How old are you?
I forget. No. Oh no, I'm 37.
37. That's not young.
Hey,
it's young enough.
Yeah, young enough. Like
37 is my favorite age number because it's from Holy Grail, Monty Python, the Holy Grail. It's like he goes, and when King Arthur's riding, and he's like, "Old woman, I'm a man." He's like, "Sorry," and he goes, "I'm 37." What? I'm 37. I'm not old, because he says "old man," or "old woman." Sorry, he goes, "Old woman." He's like, "I'm a man." Sorry, and he's like, "I'm 37." What? I'm 37. I'm not old.
Big impressed.
I love it. So yeah, okay. So they teamed up, Cyclops and John, and they fought these plants. Now these guys are fighting these giant
crab
creature, crab
people.
I like that Hickman, when he would start doing the Hoxpox stuff, had these beasts come out, because I'd actually forgotten this from Giant Size X-Men, that there was all these beasts that showed up and whatnot. I was like, where are these beasts coming from? And it was much later that I was rereading this, and I'm like, oh shoot, all right, nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I forgot about that, and I've got all the Hoxpox issues.
Yeah, it's like, once again, God forbid, when you actually read comic books and you're good at writing comic books, it's amazing the stuff that you could produce.
So what's Jonathan Hickman's problem?
Say again?
What's Hickman's problem then?
Hickman is a really good writer, dude. This guy's one of the best writers out there.
Yeah, but it seems like he has the attention span of a cat. He doesn't stay anywhere for very long. Like,
I think
he completed Avengers World, New Avengers, all his other Avengers stuff. It's Fantastic Four run. Like, we only get 13 issues of him for X-Men.
I think that he got upset with the leadership and whatnot. I think that he wanted to do his thing. And you know what? One of my big things is I would have to know, and I want to get something else in a moment. Don't move the page, please. I would have to know, like, does he understand the word no? Can he accept when an editor says no? It seems like he can, right? Because that's my big thing. As long as a writer can understand and accept the word no sometimes, then what's the big deal? That's Brian Michael Bendis' problem, according to Jim Shooter. And he doesn't understand the word no. He's going to do what he wants, and he'll rage quit. If he doesn't, he'll put up a big stink. He'll do, whatever, which is odd.
Just like Claremont did.
It would have been like last year, maybe a year and a half ago, if I would have seen that you were on the Read Comic Online, I'd be like, you know what, I'm out. I'd have just bounced. Because I hated the idea of not supporting actual, comic book stores and the app or whatever. Nowadays, though, I'm just at the point where it's like, Marvel doesn't care. Nobody seems to care. It's a damn shame, but it is what it is.
And if we go so forget about my real comics, which I go to the comic shop every I go to my comic shop every day or whatever. I mean, I know thousands.
You do, because we have the same comic book shop.
We have right. I have thousands of Comixology. Like, I have all of this on Comixology. I bought them all. I was buying digital, and I'm with you. I was like, I hated this kind of crap. And the problem is that they forced me, because they made the app now so difficult to use. They merged it with the Kindle app.
And now they just merged it with the Marvel app, so all that stuff is going to be there, which is cool whether you have an app or not, an account on there or not. Yeah, you're going to be able to do that stuff now too. But for a while, it was all of your stuff was like, it's impossible to see your stuff anymore.
I can't see my stuff.
The Marvel app, you can't even buy the new books anymore. Like,
the first time I got a digital comic book was there was the Tony Isabella did the Shadow War of Hawkman, 4 issues, and then there was a follow-up book immediately after that, like a Hawkman special, and then Hawkman number 1 through 10 came to, and then plus like a couple Superman comic books and a couple others finished up the Shadow War. I couldn't find that follow-up book.
Right.
I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't order it. There, no eBay, nothing. It's like, crap, but Comixology has it. It's like, fine. So I got a Comixology book. I still haven't been able to find the freaking book. I bought it. I can't remember if I paid $5 or $10 for it. I think it was just $5, but it's like, where's my book?
So what happened is that if you bought it before a certain date and after a certain date, it ended up being on a different app. So some of my comics, because there's a DC app, a Marvel app, not to be confused with Marvel Unlimited, which is a separate app and a separate service. Gray, I think you're talking about that one, perhaps.
Yeah, that too.
That's a 6-month waiting period to get comics.
New comics.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then
to this day, it's still the same thing.
For sure, it's still. So what am I going to do with that?
I get it, and I'm actually kind of okay with that.
Right,
it makes sense. It's fair.
I understand what they're doing, but the problem is that Netflix and Prime and the Craves and all these other HBOs, all of these other services that are doing what you're doing are not like that. My wife reads manga. She's got a Viz app and a Shonen Jump app. They're about $3 a piece per month, $3 Canadian. So that's like $1 American or something. So it's like $6. It comes out to about let's say $7. Okay, $7 for the both. The millisecond it comes in Japan, that chapter is immediately available, like across globally. So she literally has a countdown for, she reads One Piece and, you know, whatever. And literally there's a countdown. It says 22 hours to go. She gets it. So I'm like, right, guys, what is going on here? Like, I need to read I would definitely subscribe.
But that hurts the comic book stores, right?
It does hurt the comic shops, though.
That's the thing. So I love the idea that Marvel is willing to try and put a little buffer there. Because let's be realistic. When these movies come out, they don't go straight to digital streaming or straight to DVD. They go to the theaters first. That's how you protect the theaters. So
that is true. But you can still buy it anyways. If you pay, so it's like you could still buy it on digital anyway the day it comes out if you want it on digital. So it's like, again, it's like you're still going to pay to get it if you don't.
You know, I did see something like that, and that's new. That's very new.
No. They would always come out. I would subscribe to them digitally, and they would be there midnight. The new comics.
No, I'm sorry. I was saying movies.
Oh, sorry, movies. Okay, not movies. I'm sorry. I'm talking.
Okay, so you're saying with comics, okay?
No, with comics, if you subscribe to them, not the Marvel Unlimited app, the subscription where you pay per comic, you got that at midnight. That's how I would wake up.
Yeah. If you buy the comic, they've got the code in it. Yeah, you peel the thing and
you peel the thing, but you could buy it with. You could just buy it.
Not mint anymore.
Right, and that's true. Yeah,
so there was still a sacrifice. There was a give and take.
But but you could buy it digitally without the physical form the same day and get it at midnight. I would do that.
Yeah. That's what I was doing. That's
what I was doing. So they supported the comic shops, asterisks, right? They supported the comic shop, but you could pay $2 and get it right away instead of waiting the 6 months. So the thing is that they didn't really care. And I think the digital people and the physical people are not the same people. There's some people who just will not go. Like I've got like for example, our friend Steven, right? Steve would not go to the comic shop. He only buys a digital one. He has no interest in having a physical comic book. Now I go, Sean is 50-50 and I was 50-50. Now I just get physical comics because Comixology pissed me off. I'm like, okay, I'm done with you guys. I'll just buy it from Carlos. I'm fine with that. I'll buy it from him. I'm not going to buy it from you guys. They piss me. If you piss me off, it's over because then I'm never coming back. So I'm never going back. So I'm okay with this read comics online. F it. It's like I'm buying stuff. I bought the facsimile of this. So it is what it is.
It saves you money on bad books.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Like Spawn is $2.99. So I buy all 4 Spawn titles because it's $2.99. It's like it's gonna be worth it because it's all action. And it's Spawn fights a cool monster every issue. It's just action.
Good art. Yeah.
It's good art. Yeah. So I'm like, no problem. Why can Todd McFarlane do $2.99 and everyone else is $4.99? You guys are insane.
Oh, because they've got all these executives and the bloated salaries and blah, 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 blah. You got to pay all these useless people.
Oh, no. You guys want to hear something crazy? Mm-hmm. You wait 3 months, that $4.99 book is going to be $2.
Yeah.
$2.
It's going to devalue.
Yeah. Hey, James, how's it going, man? James is a buddy of mine from my old job. He called me. We haven't talked in a while, so we're going to catch up. And he called me 1 second before we went live. I'm like, I'm going live right now. I said, come check me out. Come check me out on my buddy's channel. He's doing a live stream right now.
What's up, buddy? All right. Let's get back into
let's continue on. All right. So they take care of these guys, the crabs, and now we've got Storm and Colossus, who are
trying to learn how to work as a team. I love this. They're not just right away, we're the greatest in the world. No, there's actually trial and error and screwing up and egos getting in the way of each other, and you're just like, why can't you guys just work together? But they're individually awesome. If you don't like this guy, you like that guy, or you like this girl, and I love this. Like, dude, Len Wein, Dave Cockrum, I think. Dave Cockrum. Yeah. Dude, these guys were just amazing.
They knew what they were doing. They were really in their bag. And as we see with this on the meanwhile on the island south side, we get Nightcrawler and Sunfire battling birds, the most realistic monster in comic books. Because Okay, Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds.
I knew you were
okay?
going to go there.
I own it. Yes.
I got it too. I'm just saying, like, birds, man. They're fighting birds. That's exactly what they're doing. They're fighting birds.
Right. Well, I never saw Birds 2. I've never seen. There's a part 2.
You don't need to. You don't need to.
Going against Nightcrawler, that looks like an eagle.
Yeah,
Right.
that's awesome.
It's funny. In the United States, in America, the eagle is, the bald eagle is a proud, beautiful, amazing creature. Here in Canada, it's like those sons of those fish stealing mother fat heads. They're assholes. Like that's
All right. All right. Do you guys remember Addams Family Values when they're at?
I love that movie.
They were at the archery, doing the archery scene, and like one of them just hit the arrow in the air and hit an American bald eagle, and like, are those extinct? They are now.
that was Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Was that Wednesday or?
No, Wednesday said it, but it was
she said it. Sorry.
Wednesday was the one who
Pugsley
shot the arrow.
Yeah. I love Christina Ricci in that. She's
Ricci went to a high school near me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's from Jersey.
Oh, Steve loves her. Where he's getting I think he's getting her photo op whenever that next. Yeah.
Oh, Christina Ricci is a goddess. Like I totally understand.
What's that one girl from the blonde chick from High School Musical?
I
can't remember her name, but she actually went to my high school.
Oh, Ashley Tisdale.
Ashley Tisdale. She went to my high school. Yeah, a couple years after me, but yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, the teachers there were like, "Oh yeah, I knew her before the nose job." I'm like, "Wow, like there's a way to do that."
That's cold. I never heard nose job. That's cold.
Well, I gotta say, Sunfire looks awesome to me. Like he's got a wicked costume, and he's just kicking the shit out of these birds too. It's like he's literally flaming them, man.
Yeah,
like he don't care about no birds.
Yeah, he doesn't give a.
He doesn't even call them birds. He calls them these beasts.
Yeah,
their matter seems much like that of the beasts. So simple.
He's not wrong.
Like, I'm pretty sure Sunfire would be dropping racial slurs at this point. Call them blue, call them like your bush, or I don't know, demon, bro. I don't know.
He tried to go there, and then he's just like, I'm not going to go there.
I'm not going to.
I'm just going to point out the door from here. No, this is a very diverse team, though, also, right? What was this, 1982 or something like that?
No.
79?
75.
75. Oh, the year I was born. Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, cover date, May of 75. Release date, April 1st. April Fool's Day.
What? That's crazy, right?
I feel like it feels like this was natural.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying it feels natural. It didn't feel like, this was like some agenda. It was like, let's make a global team. Like if there's mutants all around the planet, why don't we get someone from everywhere to join up? That's kind of neat. I don't think it just felt organic. It's like, let's get somebody from every location and this will be cool. And it's really cool.
What they're missing? You know what they're missing is the stuff they do today where they explain it and how, you guys don't understand how privileged you are. So I have to do such and such and such. And some of them need blue hair.
Right, I know.
Blue hair, it's not the same.
You know, the funny thing is, anytime they say, like, I'm entitled, I'm like, I know you ain't talking about me. Like, none of that applies to me. Like nothing. I'm like John Cena. You can't see me.
Let me tell you about poor Italian immigrants. Let's have that conversation, kiddo. I don't think you can handle it.
We can't you can't start doing a checklist and start going back, it's like my grandfather's parents tried to kill him, so he was taken by the state. He was an orphan, then put in the military. Then he got married, escaped from communists in Croatia, and came to Canada. He went to a factory, got his finger chopped off at the factory. They gave him the afternoon off, and then he came back to. It's just like it's you know what I mean? Like there were six of us. There were six of us in a 3-bedroom apartment. Me.
And who was this? Who is this person?
My grandfather.
Your grandfather, yeah. So
yeah, so we lived together.
Met and lived with, yeah.
Yeah, there's 6 of us in a 3-bedroom apartment. My father was out of the picture. My aunt's father was out of the picture. So it was the 2 sisters with the 2 kids, me and my cousin who shared a room. She's a girl. And all of us in a 6 of us in a 3-bedroom apartment. It's like my mom worked several jobs. It's like, yeah, I got a job immediately. Like the millisecond you were legally allowed to have a job, it's like you have a job. Like on my birthday, like you're starting Monday. Like
you're
15 or something or what? I don't know what it was. It was like
I was able to get working papers at 12 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, really?
Yeah. So I actually, at 12 years old, my mom was working at a place called Steak and Al. Steak and Ale. I always pronounced it wrong when I was younger. Now it just stuck with me. So I was like, Steak and Al. I didn't know what ale was when I was 12, but she was a waitress. Yeah, and I was doing landscaping outside, and then when all that was done, they're like, "Hey, why don't you come in and do some busboy stuff?" I was like, "All right, cool." So I worked for tips and yeah, at 12 years old. At 14, I got my own. 15. At 15, I got my first job as a waiter at a place called Iliano's. Yeah.
I worked in like not a factory, but it made we made blowers which go on trucks, so I could take apart and put together blowers for trucks.
That's a hell of a skill.
It's a random skill.
My first job, I was working at one of those Kirby vacuum door-to-door salesmen.
Oh my god!
Like
you're a hero.
That's
awesome. I make no mistake. I hated you, but you are a hero for doing that stupid job. Wow. Oh, you know what? I did sell knives. You know what? I can't even hate. I gotta hate myself too. I sold knives door to door.
Oh, that's rough.
So let me tell you something. They were called Cutco. All right, from Vector. So imagine here's a 6-foot tall dude, fresh out the military, walking around. Hi, would you like to buy these knives?
I'm looking at them right now. They're great. They look good. I'm looking at the Cutco.
Really check this out. Like it's my last house of the day. My first day, and I knock on the door. This lady, she was speaking Spanish. I couldn't understand her. I said, like, "Oh, hey," I give her my spiel, and she doesn't come to the door. So I'm like, "Okay, you know what? That's whatever." So I head to the little gate, and then all I hear is the lady speaking in Spanish and little footsteps coming after her. So her dog, she let her dog out, and it was coming after me. Like John Witherspoon in Friday. It ran. It was coming after me, and I was like, "Ah, snap!" So I started to run, but I slipped, and it just latched on to my ass. I had the full John Witherspoon. It was it was really my upper leg, but it looked like it was my ass.
Do you still have scars? Do you still have scars or indents?
No, I do have indents, but I don't want to close down my channel.
I forget.
No. We don't need to see them. We'll take your word for it.
I forget which side of it is on my face, but I was bit by a German Shepherd when I was 4.
Oh, I think I see it. I see an indent.
Is it here?
Yeah, I think so. I think I see
this side. I was 4 when it happened. I forget, but I know I have an indent on one of the, and because the dog just it barked 4 times, but it only bit me the once. Boom! I had 1 stitch in my eye, but I had 16 stitches in my face.
Oh my god!
That explains. Yeah, dogs, man, you gotta love it. And now we just got a brand new dog, and my wife went and got it.
So this dog bites me. I punch it twice in the face, and it got it it's like, "You hit my dog. I'm going to sue you." I'm like,
"Oh, now you speak English, bitch."
Bitch, you ever see Dolomite? Bitch, are you for real?
So I head to the van, and they saw everything, and it was just quiet. And I just get in the back. I'm like, I just want to go home.
So you don't want to buy the vacuum? Did you still want the vacuum or no?
You should turn around and be like,
I made sure I brought the vacuum back. I made sure I brought the vacuum back because I didn't want them to deduct anything from equipment and stuff. So
you should have sold some to sell it to the ambulance. Like always be closing, ABC or whatever it is, right? Always.
No, after they made mincemeat out of my butt. No, I ain't doing.
All right. So
we're back at it. Let's go. I don't understand why they didn't use this story instead of Pride of the X-Men. Kitty Pryde was not that important.
I like Kitty Pryde.
I love Kitty Pryde. I just hate that they dumped on her afterwards.
Yeah.
Her being Wolverine's disciple. Here, what do you call it? Gray, have you ever read the 6-issue Kitty Pryde and Wolverine?
By Frank Miller.
Was it Frank Miller?
Yeah. Oh no, Claremont and Frank Miller drew it. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I've got it on here.
No, I'm sorry.
I liked it.
I loved it. I loved it. And I'm just like, so that's why when all of a sudden they invented Jubilee and she was the new, mentee of Wolverine, I'm like, who is this little hussy?
No, right?
Yeah, I didn't like Jubilee either. It's this one, right? I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Those are my
yes, it is. Where we meet Ogun for the first time.
Who nobody I thought it was pretty cool.
The only person who ever uses Ogun is Chris Claremont. Well, with the exception of Ben Rayup one time back in 1997, and that was it. No one ever uses Ogun. Nobody cares about Ogun. Nobody really gets Ogun. It's so weird, and you have to be Chris Claremont, who I think is in love with his own legend. I swear he smells his own farts.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Mine smell fantastic.
Dude.
No, you gotta eat pineapple. That's the trick or whatever.
Everybody loves their own flavor.
They do.
Was that
all
Austin
right?
Powers 2?
Yeah.
Yes, that was Austin Powers 2 with the sumo guy. Oh, that reminds me. I'm a week behind on sumo. Damn, there's a tournament going on. I watch sumo legit. I'm not making fun of that. I've been watching since 2014. I watch sumo. It's anyways,
you should do commentary on it.
Hey, be only American doing it.
I don't think anyone would care, but maybe. I mean,
and you know what? I bet you thought nobody was going to be interested in reading from Superboy #1, did you?
No, that I for sure didn't.
So,
yeah, I should. Maybe I'll do something on sumo.
You know what? Honestly, here, how about check this out? What if? Because now I'm actually a little bit jealous of this. Now, what if a bunch of Japanese people find your channel and you go viral in Japan, and people who've already watched sumo are now watching you and they're learning English from you?
Maybe I can try something. I wonder if I can. I'd have to take screenshots because if I saw one guy who was sharing because they do English highlights and he was sharing them through YouTube and he got shut down for that because it's like it was their official. So I could probably take still shots and like talk about the matches.
Oh yeah.
Like just show a still picture.
Yeah, look for press releases, stuff like that. Yeah,
I've got the app
for individual pictures of the people, put up the pictures and all that stuff.
Yeah,
we should talk about that afterwards. Anyways,
that'd be interesting. Yeah. All right, so let's continue.
We found the original X-Men.
Yes, there you go. They're all being drained.
With the exception of Beast. Beast is not here.
Which they did say in the beginning he was
with the Avengers, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think so. They don't say where he was. They just say he didn't show up. And Cyclops is like, well, he ain't here. He ain't here. We're going to leave without him. Like,
right.
Okay. That's
okay, so we got to act fast and get them all down.
Nobody ever got along with Cyclops.
I love Cyclops, man. He's my favorite.
I love him too, but I wonder why nobody ever got along with him.
Because apparently he's a stickler. He's so by the book.
I like sticklers.
Because you know where you said, I'm abandoning this guy. He's not here. He's not here. Let's go. Like, dude.
Well, what's he supposed to do? He can't wait for him, right? Like,
he could have been in the deep recesses.
I think people just like to talk trash on the boss.
They do.
Because the people who were really saying this were Iceman, Beast, and Angel, and everybody just kind of bought into it. They're like, okay, just like he's cool, but he ain't that cool. He's still managing.
Right.
Yeah, but like, who disses Storm besides you?
Yeah. Hey, well, I love Storm. I just, I tongue it's just not in her butt like everybody else is.
Anyway.
Whoa. Okay. So
She's
basically,
great, okay. I just want to like. I think that whole date with her and X-Men Red is so contrived. Because, all right, I want to see what kind of weak game she falls for. I want to see who initiated the contact.
Here's the thing: you're reading all these new comics, and that's where I have sympathy for you, man. Because, like, comics for the most part suck nowadays.
They don't.
Yeah.
There was times where they sucked more.
Back in the day, Storm was amazing. She wasn't delusional, right?
Delusional.
She's not always been delusional.
She called herself a goddess her entire life.
Look at the powers they called she had. I would believe that too.
Yeah.
They called her a goddess. She didn't call her herself. They called her a god because they didn't understand. Right?
Yeah, that too.
And
but like, it's just one of those things. Like, dude, if enough people listen or enough people are telling you something, you're going to believe it after a while anyway. So, like, it is what it is.
That is true.
Yeah, there was that one thing later on where the chick shows up. She's like, "Oh, I remember you. You were the crazy girl who saved us and whatnot." You mean you knew?
Were like, okay, why not?
But we, service you. It's like, dude, here's somebody who didn't read the comics.
Right.
Like, that wasn't the case. You know. I don't know, whatever, man. It is what
no, it's not whatever. You're right. You're speaking on it.
I know. I'm just making the idea. It's like these people who've never read the comics are in charge of the comics. They're in charge of these stories.
And it's not even that. It's not that they haven't read them. It's that they don't like them and think they're all bad. So it's like, I've never read it because comics back then are stupid and they portrayed women this way and they portrayed minorities this way and all this other bullshit, and they don't care about it at all. And they're doing all this new stuff, and it's like, you're not doing anything new. In fact, you're taking what was already old and done well, and you're just making it boring. It's like everything is I stopped X-Men a year ago, all X-Men titles, and Gray knows I read them all. I stopped. I'm like, I can't. I'm wasting a lot of money, and they're all boring. They're boring. They're actually just boring.
Get better. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to get better. No, it's boring.
I gave up around the same time as you, if not a little bit sooner.
Yeah, there's one issue I can pinpoint it where it was the Quiet Council talking for 10 pages. I'm like, is this a political comic? I don't like. What do I care? I want to see, like, it's just people. Like, I showed it to my wife, like, look, it's just people talking. I'm like, this is X-Men. This is not exciting at all. Look at this shit. They're fighting big, huge birds. They're fighting crabs. They're breaking shit in. There's this stuff here. This creature stuff.
And there's a story. And
there's characterizations, and they're forced to work together.
Surprise! The island's alive. It's Cthulhu. It's like, holy crap!
Holy crap! Look at this page.
Bungie, but okay.
Look at this. Look how insane this is.
Yeah, and then, like, look at the title right there, Krakoa, or Chapter 4, Krakoa, the island that walks like a man. Tell me this doesn't harken back to the Stan Lee and Steve Ditko days before there was the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
right?
like
where monsters dwell and stuff like that. Like, this is the amazing stuff. What it's astonishing tales and tales of suspense used to actually be back in the day. When Journey into Mystery didn't have a Thor, it just had things like this.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And some of those old tales of Astonish were Groot. That's where Groot came from. He's like that big monster.
Groot, yeah.
And he's literally just there to destroy shit, and they sink termites on him.
Yeah, like boom, like, dude, there are so many incredible. There, like, they would stick 4 anthology stories, characters you'd never see again or hear from again. Dude, that's actually what Ant-Man is.
Man, what? Yes.
Ant-Man wasn't Ant-Man. He was just a guy who was a scientist. He went down and do.
Yeah,
and he didn't have super strength when he went there in the first issue. It was only then that, like, the Fantastic Four became a big deal. And Stan Lee was like, you know what? I really like that one story that I did. You know what? Let's bring Ant-Man and make him a superhero. Let's put him in a costume also.
Yeah,
and it was amazing. I loved it.
And I did read that Ant-Man story. I read that on Comixology. That was part of the Ant-Man collection or whatever. Nice. And that was awesome. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And then it was way later. It wasn't like the next issue where they realized they got something.
They skipped several issues, and then all of a sudden they brought him back.
Yeah, that was awesome. All right, so this is the battle. This is basically close to the end now. This is the battle. They're just like, what the hell are we going to do here?
I'm looking at it now. I'm just imagining it as a as a movie or a TV show. Like, just like you can use practical effects, and it's just like your garden's trying to eat you. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, like we got so Sunfire's nailing him, Banshee's nailing him. It's like, well, they did give a quick origin. Like Storm comes in. Look at this. Look at this panel. I mean, this is insane.
Yeah.
You've got like, I mean, Jean Grey's doing shit. Iceman's doing stuff. Storm's hitting him. Man. Look at Havoc and Cyclops.
Unleashes, like that. To me, that's the best thing. Like when Havoc's just doing a couple little things here and there and trying to solve things, whatever. Why not just make a Havoc ongoing series where he's doing whatever, and then at some point he just does that. I've absorbed enough, and you know what? I'm giving it all. And like just like one time he gets to just use a full on blast. Ah, man, Havoc is an amazing character.
He is awesome.
Like I just don't like how they keep simp. Like okay, I don't like using the word simp. They keep like.
No, I'm good with simp.
No, like he got over Madeline Pryor so long ago. Like honestly, with me, I think Lorna is his person.
Yeah,
but
Lorna Dane is Undina Polaris is definitely his person. Yes.
Yeah, but
Malice or not,
but
Zaladane or not.
But people love to make him just like, oh, he's still pining over his big brother's ex. Yeah. Can you imagine how awkward that would be for Jean? Can you imagine them all having dinner and he's thinking about Maddie, and like Jean's like, oh my god, ew, oh god, he's thinking about me.
All right. Well, I wanted to look. So here we have Professor X because it's said here that Krakoa also manipulated Professor X. Which is interesting. It's like it's not just that he's a physical or whatever. It is a physical threat. There's also a mind behind it, which makes it even more dangerous.
Yeah.
And Krakoa basically defeated Professor X in this little battle here. Really, I mean, this is crazy. Yeah. Like if you're reading this for the first time in that, I mean, I read this obviously after I'd already known all the X-Men stuff. Mm-hmm. But imagine reading this for the first time. You're like, this thing just like destroyed everybody. Like, what the hell?
It felt like a genuine threat.
Oh shit, yeah. Like, it's like, okay, Professor X, like Cyclops, yeah, I'm done. Like, you are on your own.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. And this guy's like, oh, you thought Rain was going to do something? Like, you guys effed up. You're like you don't see this.
You're just giving more nourishment.
I think
they stronger.
It's like, don't these guys ever look at Pokemon? Right. Like, water types only help grass types. Like, what the frig?
Also,
yeah, come on.
Panel with Scott and Alex. Like, I really like this.
Right here.
Yeah.
Oh, coming up. Oh no, this is awesome.
That's nice. I like
so
together.
Like you've got is Havoc, because I know Cyclops obviously is force blasts. Is Havoc plasma. Energy? Oh, it's plasma. Okay, that's what.
Yeah, it's heated plasma. So like.
Oh wow! So this thing is just, and this thing, like, I mean, just think this thing is getting absolutely like obliterated with these forces. Even this. I can't. Can you see my mouse?
They crossed the beams.
They did. They crossed the streams.
They crossed the streams.
Excuse me, Egon. You said crossing the streams was bad. You're going to endanger us. You're going to endanger our client.
Before that.
Yeah, this is before that. He goes, try to imagine every atom in your body exploding at the speed of light. Okay, so that's bad, right? He's got to confirm.
And also, this is little part with Havoc and Iceman, and if you look at him now, like, since Iceman's gay, he's being like a protective gay boyfriend.
Oh, over here,
Michael Bendis.
Oh, yeah. So yeah,
I roll with the punches now. I mean,
it's just so arbitrary that it doesn't even matter anymore. It's
exactly. It's like you didn't affect the story at all.
Right.
What was the purpose? You didn't affect the character. If anything, you made the character worse. You opened it up so that Cena Grace and people like that can just, oh, it's a gay character, so of course everything's got to be sexual with the character. Thank you.
Right, and I spoke to Cena
yeah.
Grace. I spoke to Cena Grace. I had an interview with him. I was talking. He just said, "Yeah, no problem." So I did it. This is way back when he first started with the Iceman series,
I
and
remember that.
he told me that he wanted to write a Wolverine story, and they said, "No, you have to write the gay character."
Story.
And he's like, okay, he took it because he's like, well, I want to write something. So he did Iceman. And then he had come up with the things. And then the Wolverine story that came out after that used elements from his idea that he had for Wolverine. So he was not happy. After he told me all of this, now this isn't me speaking, this is me going back and forth with emails and stuff. And I've got it. So I sent him like a Word document. He sent it back. So it's like, I have Word documents of this.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't, he's like, I didn't realize I wasn't allowed to, he's like, I can't do that. So I already published it on Google Plus, and there's no Google Plus anymore. And he's like, I wasn't allowed to do this interview. Like, he's like, I needed to get permission or something. I was like, okay. I said, so it was on G Plus for whatever, but yeah, it was crazy. And he's like, yeah, they wanted me to write Iceman because that's the gay character. And I'm like, right, this is the problem. You've shoehorned people into this thing. And Cena Grace like, but I've got all these ideas for Wolverine, which they then later used, which is pretty shitty. Anyways, side note. Okay, back to this.
Okay, all right.
This is cool. So, yeah, go ahead.
This is so like, all right. This is so cool considering like where how it started to what it is now. Like in the beginning, it tried to eat them. Now they're living on it.
Yeah, no, they're pretty.
I was expecting at some point, if Hickman stayed with it, he would wrap it up by saying that Krakoa is actually manipulating them.
Right.
Oh yeah,
I think that would have been brilliant.
Yeah, that entire thing got too weird now, and it's just like now it's just a thing. It's like I just want the X-Men fighting like fighting things cooler way. Like I don't know, it just feels like like it's just a lazy way out for writing. Like, oh, they're just hanging out here now. Oh, okay. Yeah. This is neat though. Look at this.
Aren't all bad right now. I mean, like, if for some reason all the X-Men have some sort of like gripe against Xavier, like Storm hates Xavier for some reason now. Like everybody hates Xavier, but they
because it's the Authority and he's the patriarchy, so we have to hate him. It's like
they even had Storm say, "You told me my life was a fantasy, and I was young enough to believe it. Like I've always been a god." So I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, so that's the new and improved Storm, who's now a piece of trash. This is what they do with these.
Who's now been colonized.
Right. Yeah. This is the new and improved female characters. They're all trash. Yeah, they're all bitches and self-centered. Self-centered.
No,
it's like,
the thing about it is though, anytime you say, "Oh, how is she a guy?" It's like, well, the Wakandans said it. Like, well, the Wakandans, the people who worship a giant cat, we're really gonna look at them and think they're gonna be some sort of authority on what a god is. Get the F out of here with that. Like, are you crazy?
So
like, you was smoking that angel dust.
So okay, this is neat. He makes an ice, basically like a surfboard, and then they're powering it with their abilities to propel this thing. In the meantime, Lorna has like absorbed, and she's basically like changing like gravity to like shoot it out. I'm trying to find where they explain. There's a great explanation to it. Where is it? Where he says it's like holding a bar of soap and squishing it so much that it shoots out.
Okay.
And I was like, that was such a great way to explain, because I immediately understood. Because prior to that, I was kind of like, what's happening exactly here? And it's like there's just so much pressure and the gravity's changing that around the island that it's just like going boom, and it just gets shot right out. Because if you think if there's no gravity, all of a sudden it just boom, it fires. I thought, oh, this is so cool. And then check this out. Where's the we're almost at the end here, but where's the shot? Yeah, look at this. This thing gets like shot into space.
Just completely.
It's just.
It's now the original Orcus.
Oh God! God.
Like, oh man. So now and then, basically they all like Minutes pass, so Cyclops force blasts out of here. Iceman's got his little thingy that he made, and they raise they get the jet, and then that's it. And like, what are we gonna do with 13 X-Men? We're gonna eliminate some.
We're gonna kill one of them for sure.
We're gonna kill one of them.
Well, and technically, you're gonna kill like 2 of them.
Who was the other one?
Jean.
Oh, Jean later on, yeah.
Oh, that was much later. Much later. No, in the very next issue,
actually,
they kill Thunderbird.
Yeah.
Like the Phoenix didn't happen like.
That was issue 134. The next issue is going to be 130. Oh, is issue
94.
Right.
So in 94, they go on a mission, and then in 95, John Proudstar dies at the end.
So that's like what, 2.5 years later.
Is it?
I would say like a couple months.
Yeah, you figure 12 issues per year, 12, 24, 30. So 30.
Yeah.
Think about this. The way let's say they have like a 3-issue arc. All that happens in their perspective within the span of a day, whereas us it's like 3 months.
I guess.
Comic books.
I'm just saying in general, like, look, we are in the real time, right? As we consider it. So, 3 years later, they would kill Jean in a very explosive, amazing, wonderful way. Thank you, Jim Shooter.
Thank you, Jim Shooter. You are.
Yeah.
I like Jim Shooter.
Yeah.
No.
So I have a Mount Rushmore of Marvel Comics.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Okay.
So Stan Lee, clearly. Kirby and Ditko.
Okay.
And then the 4th one is Jim Shooter.
Oh, nice.
Really close to having Roy Thomas on there, but he was far better as a worker instead of an editor or an editor-in-chief. So, because like he did a lot, he brought in Conan, right?
For
it's
sure.
because of him the Conan movie.
Stan didn't want it, right?
No.
He didn't want it. He didn't want
Star Wars.
Didn't want Star Wars, right?
He didn't want Star Wars either.
The first 2 appearances of Darth Vader are not in movies or commercials or TV shows. They're in Marvel Comics.
That's crazy.
That's the reason why it looks so weird, because those first 2 issues came out before the movie hit theaters. Back in, what was that, 70? So 77 or 79? Yeah,
that's
whatever.
My year.
There you go. So okay, there you go. Okay, so 77. You would know. Like Roy Thomas did a hell of a lot, but Jim Shooter, this guy who since he was 12 years old was writing for the Legion of Superheroes, right? Created the Fatal 5, created Parasite. He was the first person to decide to put the Flash and Superman in a race and made the outcome very, believable, right? Nobody could go home thinking, oh no. He came up with, and then he came to Marvel. He did like Secret Wars. Like while he was editor-in-chief, he did Secret Wars. He did Contest of Champions. First time combining all these different heroes into one comic book. Like there's a lot that this guy did. And he told Chris Claremont no and made him stick with certain ideas at certain point. Case in point, when he's like, here's the big thing that I always point out with Claremont. He just willy-nilly had Jean Grey eat a planet in the Shi'ar galaxy. And it was just a nothing burger to him. Right. And Shooter was like, no, there has to be consequences.
Yeah, she's got to die or something. Like something's got to happen.
There has to be some kind of consequences for that. And like, well, I don't understand. I don't understand why. Why? It was just some random planet. But you said that it was inhabited. And you said it's in Shi'ar space. This is one of the most powerful galaxies out there. No, you actually have to have some kind of consequences for it. And he kept on coming back. Well, I don't know what to do. You have to think of something, dude. Otherwise, I'm going to think of something for you. But you have to do something. Finally, he pops his head in Shooter's office door. The one time he's like, fine, you know what? I'll just kill her. He says, all right, you know what? Done. He's like, you can't really kill her. He's like, no, you know what? Honestly, I'm tired of this constantly being a thing. Chris, you're going to kill her. You're going to get it approved, all that good stuff, but you're going to kill her, right? And what do you call it? Ann Nesenti testified to that on video, and Louise Simonson testified to that on camera in front of him, corrected Chris Claremont, and he was like, well, that's true. Yeah, it is true.
That's what
I'll say.
No, go for it.
I was going to say another Jim Shooter thing for you. Feral Lad was supposed to be a black character, this would have been the first.
Yes.
But they all said, no, we're going to lose our down south. We're going to lose some readers.
Wiseman was the guy who
Wiseman.
That.
Yep.
Mort Wiseman said no.
Yeah, he said
Jim
no.
Shooter would have made the first black character in DC Comics. Just boom.
Yeah,
it would have been a pretty big deal.
Yeah, and then they said no, and then he got upset. And then they just killed him. Right? They killed Feral Lad. Yeah. But I mean, there you go.
And then Brian Michael Bendis, who hates Jim Shooter, turned around and he went and made him black later on. Where's the credit? Where's the credit? Why not a quick little, you know what? I'm going to give a shout out to this guy who you can say, I don't like him, whatever. Because even Roy Thomas hated. And he's the one who actually started the rumors that Shooter was actually a bad guy in his, what was the name of that comic? Alter Ego. Okay. That book that he still produces to this day.
Right.
He put it out there, Shooter is mean to all of us, blah, blah, blah. You mean Jim Shooter, the guy who, like, the first guy who made sure that everybody knew that artists should get their stuff back is Neil Adams, right? He's the first guy who said that. But Neil Adams had no power.
Right. So he could say what he wants.
You know who did have power? Jim Shooter.
Yeah.
Because he was the editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics. So he's just like, you know what? I have the power to do this. And they were both really good friends until Neil Adams left us, rest in peace, my friend. But
I think the thing with that, we need a Jim Shooter now. We need somebody to tell.
And more than anything else. Yes.
Like, seriously, I believe in that Jim Shooter mentality. Like, if you're going to be an editor-in-chief, you got to be a fan of the product. Yes. I'm telling you, I become editor-in-chief of the X-Men. Vita, Teeny, Leah, Simon, you're all fired. You're gone.
All right. Here's
Mark
a nice
Wade. I'm bringing in Mark Wade.
Yeah. I would give them a severance package.
Antlers,
even though they're not employees, I would give them a severance package.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's fine. I know it's not personal.
No hard feelings. Here's a good reference. Here's all of your material that you did. But yeah, no, you're gone.
I'm bringing in Mark Wade. I'm bringing in Scott Lobdell. And you know what? For fun, I'm bringing in Chuck Austin. I'm going to bring some controversy.
Yeah, let's do it.
Bring back Hickman.
Yes.
I bring him back. Ben Percy. No.
I think that Percy would be good if he was told no once in a while.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So as far as
I feel the same way about Jerry Dugan.
Yeah. I know. I have no problem with Dugan. Al Ewing's fine too. These aces.
Oh my God! And can you imagine Donny Cates mentored by Shooter?
Oh.
Well, see, he's doing his what's he doing? Vanish now or whatever, right?
Donnie. Which he can. But the idea is, if he were mentored by somebody who actually understood not just the writing but the visuals of comics.
Ooh.
Well, I do like Vanish though. His own thing is pretty good.
Oh, absolutely. But Donnie has more potential than anybody else out there right now. Anybody, hands down.
No, but I would bring in Kelly Thompson to write her own X-Men, write New Mutants. She's really good.
Ooh, New Mutants? That would be good. I'd be happy with her just coming back to do Rogue and Gambit.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's still doing Captain Marvel though, right?
It's the last issue.
You can do both. I was like, hey, do your thing.
I saw her I can't remember the last time I talked to her. It's always
I saw your interview with her when you had her.
Oh, that was a while ago. No, I talked to her on Twitter. What was the last time?
There's one more issue of Captain Marvel that's done. I think 50's the end.
April 21st was the last time I actually talked to her. But what do you call it? She put me in touch with somebody at Image Comics. But I forget. No, I remember seeing something where she said, "Oh, when I used to write, or when I was writing Captain Marvel," I'm like, "You're still writing Captain Marvel? This your 50 just came out." And that was the last one. I didn't realize it was the last one. That sucks.
Yeah, 50's the last one. I just saw 49. It said next the end, and I heard that it's done.
I guess because she's doing Black Cloak, and going to be doing a bunch of other things.
But it's weird because that Marvel's movie, whether you like it or not, is coming. Kamala Khan's dead. Captain Marvel comic is done. Who Who's running this?
How long do you think? Kamala Khan didn't die yet, right? They
Not
just
yet.
released that she was going to die in the comics.
Sure, she'll be back. She'll be back 1 week before the premiere of the Marvels.
Dude, I'm betting it's going to be the same thing. And this is the thing that killed Jason Aaron for me. I'll bet you, just like with Jane Foster, or Ms. Marvel will be back in the same issue that she dies in.
Right. Yeah, could be. I don't know if she died already.
Like,
Do you know?
It's a dream or something. Like it was a telepathic image, like of her worst fear or something.
That Jane Foster thing, like I was crying. I'm not joking. I was crying when she died. I was like, oh my God. But then at the end of the issue, she comes back and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm going to just put that to the side for now. And then after I did my review, and then afterwards, I started thinking about it more and more. And like they were bringing back another comic book with it. I'm just like, well, that just killed everything for me then.
Right.
And I started really scrutinizing some of his work. I'm like, all this dude is a flashbang grenade. It's not lethal. I mean, unless it's real close to you. There's no lethality. You know what I'm saying?
All right, guys, I gotta go. I gotta go though.
Oh shoot! Yeah, it is your time.
I gotta. Yeah, that's what Canada closes, or at least my Canada closes.
Bullshit. In actuality, he's the Gray Hulk. It's nighttime. He knows he's about to turn at any moment.
Mr. All right, so
nice.
So
you guys can hang. You guys can go on.
No. I want to end it. Then I want to keep on going. Yeah. No, but like
Jay, we gotta hang one of these days.
Professor Bill,
for sure.
I'm 1407, Gray Malkin. We'll see you soon.